ஒன்று நடந்து வருவது என்பது ஒவ்வொரு நாளும் இந்த
Morning, student. Morning. Can you hear me?
Morning, ma'am.
Can you hear me, right?
Yeah, ma'am.
Okay, done. Thank you, Putha. So, what about others? Are they joining? Okay, let them join. Somehow the recording is there, right? So we'll get started, and then, as I can remember, we learned about double OP concept in the last class, isn't it? And then we learned about the class diagrams as well. We call it as UML diagrams. So I'll just do a small recap. Okay. So ada mang alta podi recap එකක් කරන්නම්. Last class එකේ අපි මොනවද ඉගෙන ගත්තේ කියලා. And then when I was teaching you that aggregation, generalization කියන අර relationships between the classes කියන එක මම උගන්වුවා. So while I was teaching, I thought of while I was teaching, I said that I will be explaining it to you with another presentation where you will be clearly understanding those relationships, isn't it? So මම ඔයාලට කියවනේ දර generalization ඒ වගේ දේවල් තියෙනවා නේද, relationships නේද, composition ඒ වගේ relationships තියෙනවා in between classes. ඒ relationship එක මම ඔයාලට detailed මම කියලා දෙන්නම් කියලා කිව්වා. Okay, so මම ඒකට වෙනම presentation එකක් තියෙනවා with some example, real time example, coding example එකත් එක්කම තියෙනවා. Then you will clearly understand that. Okay, so I'll try to give you the full clear idea about it. And then we are about to learn some other diagrams as well today. Okay, එතකොට තියෙනවා මේකේ මොනවාද state diagrams කියලා තියෙනවා, ඒ වගේම තියෙනවා activity diagrams, ඒ වගේ ගොඩක් diagrams තියෙනවා. So even now currently I am working on my project. Okay, එතකොට මම top up class අපේ degree final year මම කරනවා ඉඳ. So ඒකේදී අපිට තියෙන මේ projects ගොඩක් තියෙනවා ඒක කරන්න. හරිද? එතකොට group project එකක් තියෙනවා, like personal projects දෙකක් තුනක් වගේ තියෙනවා. So under this, now I am currently working on all these diagrams. Okay, so make sure, Putha, even if you are doing your higher studies, you also have, you can't just at once develop the system, or even you can't just code. Okay, නිකන් වාඩි වෙලා code කරන්න එකපාරටම அலைங்க நீ உட்கார்ந்து அப்படியே கோட் பண்றதுக்கு ஃபர்ஸ்ட்டுக்கே ஸ்டார்ட் பண்ண மாட்டீங்க. நீங்க எந்த ஒரு சிஸ்டம் செய்றீங்கன்றாலுமே வந்து அதுக்கு ஃபர்ஸ்ட் ஸ்டெப் வந்து இந்த டயக்ராம்ஸ் வரைகிறது. ஓகே, ஸோ நான் உங்களுக்கு ஃபர்ஸ்ட்டுக்கே சொல்லி தந்திரேன் SDLCன்னு சொல்லி, where it shows you the process of a software life cycle, isn't it? So then first thing you will be collecting all the requirements from the user, and then what you will be doing after getting the requirements, you will be analyzing what are they are actually like expecting through this software. And then soon after you are gathering all the requirements and then analyzing through that, and then you will be coming up with a design. Or a design කියන පස්සේ එකේ තමයි මේ diagram designs, ඒ වගේම user interface designs හැම එකක්ම එකතු වෙන්නේ include වෙන්නේ මේකේ තමයි. நலங்கிச்சா அப்ப நீங்க வரைய போற இந்த கிளாஸ் டயக்ராம் ஐக்கலாம், யூஸ் கேஸ் டயக்ராம்ஸ் ஐக்கலாம், activity diagrams ஐக்கலாம், state diagrams ஐக்கலாம், use case diagrams ஐக்கலாம். There are many more diagrams. Okay, so all these diagrams, even the things which we learned, as I can remember, I taught you pseudocodes and flowcharts, right? Can you remember? So that is also coming under diagrams, isn't it? So මේ හැම එකක්ම designing කියන මේ category එකේ ඇතුලේ තමයි එන්නේ. එතකොට designer කෙනෙකුට user interface එක විතරක් නෙවෙයි එයා design කරන්නේ. All these things has to be designed by whom? By the designer. So designer තමයි මේ හැම එකක්ම design කරලා එයා output එක දෙන්නේ. දැන් මේක හරි. දැන් මේ design එක කරලා ඉවර වුණාට පස්සේ what we'll be doing is the development. හරිද? design එක තියාගෙන තමයි අපි development කියන එක කරන්නේ. So first thing we learned double OP concept කියන්නේ මොනවාද කියලා. So නිකන් මං කියන්නම්. So when it comes to development or else programming or else software development or else application development, whatever it is, there are ways that you can develop a software. හරිද? software එකක් develop කරන්නට නිකන් ඒ කියන්නේ object oriented paradigms කියලා වෙනම මේ මොනවාද way එකක් තියෙනවා, and then structured programming, unstructured programming. Okay, structured programming එකේ in the one page itself we can just code. Okay, but when it comes to object oriented programming, අපි මං එදා last class එකේ කියලා දුන්නා, we will be creating objects. Okay, so in classes you will be having objects, so then using those objects that you can do, you can do the methods. Okay, ඒ වගේ තමයි මේක වැඩ කරන්නේ. So we will be detailed learning. Okay, මම ඔයාලට මොකක්ම මේකේ detail කියලා දෙන්නම්. But currently we are still in the designing pass. හරිද? designing pass එකේ ඔයාලා දැනගන්න ඕන දේවල් තමයි නම් තාම ඔයාලට උගන්වන්නේ. හරිද? And before I was coming, like before I started this presentation and all, before I think before the last class, okay, මං last class එකට කලින් class එකක් තිබ්බනේ. ඒකේ තමයි අපි මේ coding practices ඔක්කොම කරේ නේද? For unstructured sequences program එකට කොහොමද program එකක් code කරන්නේ in console application, isn't it? And then we learned selection program එකක් කොහොමද code කරන්නේ, ඒ වගේම loop එකක් නැත්නම් repetition එකක් කොහොමද code කරන්නේ. We learned all these stuffs in the previous classes, isn't it? But that is development නේද? development කියන්නේ using a real code, real time code, you will be developing something which would run and then which would give you some outputs where it would take out input and then it according to that it will do a process and then it will give you the output නේද? එතකොට ඒක නිකන් අපි console application එකක් command prompt එකක් වගේ එකක් තමයි අපි run කරේ නේද? But when it comes to real time environment, අපි users ලාත් එක්ක වැඩ කරනකොට we can't just develop a command prompt, isn't it? එතකොට even assume that if I wanted to do a presentation for you guys, if I am using a black color screen instead of using a PowerPoint presentation, that is not going to be that effective, isn't it? Then I won't be able to insert images, or else I won't be able to choose these colors and all, isn't it? So එහෙනම් තමයි අපි මේ වගේ applications create කරන්නේ. application, okay, form applications create කරන්නේ in order to give really a good user experience to the user. Okay, users lage experience එක එයාලගේ good experience එකක් විදිහට දෙන එකට තමයි අපි මේ වගේ interfaces හදාගන්නේ. So later on we will be learning, like today almost we will be covering all the theoretical parts. Okay, theory මම ඔක්කොම මේ අදම ඉවර කරන්නම්, and most probably from the next class onwards we will be coding. Okay, code කරන්නට කලින් අපි interface එකක් කොහොමද develop කරගන්නේ, ඒත් එක්කම කොහොමද පොඩි system එකක් හදන්නේ කියන එක මම ඔයාලට කියලා දෙන්නම්. Okay, so that is what we will be continuously doing it through these classes. හරි, එතකොට object oriented programming කියන්නේ ඔයාලට දන්නවා that is a paradigm which programming paradigms, okay, which will work with objects. Okay, objects ඒ කියන්නේ මම ඔයාලට object කියන්නේ මොනවද කියලා දුන්නා. I'll be explaining it again as well. එතකොට classes තියෙනවා. In a program you will be having classes, in that you will be having objects. නේද? objects ගොඩාක් තියෙනවා. ඒ objects ලත් එක්ක වැඩ කරන එකට තමයි අපි කියන්නේ object based. okay, එහෙමත් නැත්නම් object oriented programming කියලා. okay, එතකොට මේකෙන් තියෙන්නේ mainly objects. okay, so then you will be having state and methods mainly නේද? variables නැත්නම් ඔයාලට කියන්න පුළුවන් behaviors, එහෙමත් නැත්නම් ඔයාලට කියන්න පුළුවන් data, එහෙමත් නැත්නම් ඔයාලට කියන්න පුළුවන් to the state you can tell that it's a property of something likewise. okay, object එකක් ගෙන අපි කියනකොට there are things that is really about the object, isn't it? Now something, assume that if there is a bottle with me, so then if you are telling something about the bottle, that is known as state variable, isn't it? So මේ bottle මේ height එකේ තියෙනවා, the width of the bottle is this, sorry අහල මේවලයි කිද, උයර මේවලයි කිද, the color of the bottle, all this comes under what? State. If not, we can call it as variable, isn't it? And whatever that you can do with the bottle, ஹரி சரியா, இப்ப நீங்க என்னெல்லாம் செய்யலாம், இந்த பொட்டிலால என்ன செய்யலாம், நீங்க தண்ணி குடிப்பீங்க, இந்த பொட்டில் எடுத்த இப்போ கை கழுவிங்க, like you can do things, right? like you can drink water නේද? ඔයාට බොන්න පුළුවන් වතුර නේද? මේ වගේ ගොඩක් දේවල් කරන්න පුළුවන් නේ මේ බෝතලයක් එක්ක නේද? So we can call that thing, whatever that you do with the bottle, as method or else behavior, isn't it? So then we learned all these things in the object as well. So object එකක් කියලා කියන්නේ it's something like where you can touch and feel. okay, එහෙමත් නැත්නම් අපි form එකක් කියලා කියන්නේ. In that also buttons, all this comes under objects. Okay, so objects will have attributes of not, if not we can call it as data or properties මං කිව්වා වගේ. ඒ වගේම තියෙනවා operations නැත්නම් methods නැත්නම් behaviors of the object කියලා මේ වගේ දේවල් දෙකක් තියෙනවා. The under the attribute you can tell the things whatever that is related. Okay, you are just like we can say ඔයා මේක මේ object එක ගෙන කියනවා. හරිද? You are like මේ object මේ වගේ තියෙනවා, මේ වගේ color එකේ තියෙනවා, මේකේ මේ වගේ what's කීයද තියෙන්නේ, status එක on the off the වගේ එයා ගැන අර features ගැන තමයි කියන්නේ. But when it comes to operation or method, you are telling the things that we can do with the object. Okay, we can switch it on, switch off like things. Okay, ඒ වගේම අපි බැලුවා when it comes to attributes, එහෙමත් නැත්නම් states, එහෙමත් නැත්නම් data, එහෙම okay, so if not variables, all these things are like we are just giving an explanation of a particular object නේද? අපි කියන දේවල් ඒක තමයි detailly මෙතන දීලා තියෙන්නේ. So for example, assume that there is a movie, so that is an object. මේ object ගැන අපි කියන දේවල් හරිද? ඒකට title එකක් තියෙනවා. Because there could be many more objects, isn't it? Movies කියන category එකේ there could be plenty more movies, but exactly about which movie we are telling about. Okay, we are telling about which movie. Okay, මොන වගේ movie එකක් ගැනද අපි කියන්නේ. So it will have a title, director, written by whom, and then duration, release date. All these things are belong to the movie, isn't it? So what we can do with the movie, we can watch the movie, we can record the movie, isn't it? Things are that we can do with the movie. So ඒ වගේම තමයි operation කියලා කිව්වම ඔයාලට දන්නවා functionalities. Okay, functionalities performed by the object. Okay, if not services given by it. Okay, so assume that there is a waiter. Okay, in a hotel there's a waiter. So what the waiter does, okay, he serves or else he takes order, isn't it? So things that they do, okay, that is known as functionalities, if not operations, of if not we can call it as behaviors, methods. හරිද? එතකොට object එකක් අපි ගත්තාම object එකකින් අපිට කරන්න පුළුවන් දේවල් තියෙනවා. හරිද? Phone, if you are having a phone, then we can call, we can take pictures, we can record, we can listen to music. Things that we can do with it is known as operations. But if we are explaining about the phone, so this is this brand, and then the height of this is this, the color of the phone is this. So you are telling about you are giving an explanation about the object, isn't it? So that comes under what? State or else attribute. Okay, so I hope you got the clear idea about that. In the last class itself I taught everything. So මෙතන තව example එකක් දීලා තිබ්බා. If there is a account object, okay, then account කියලා object එකක් තියනවා කියලා දාන්න. ඒකේ තියනවා කරන්න පුළුවන් දේවල්. So object name එක ID එකක් දීලා තියෙනවා A1 කියලා. මේ වගේ A2, A3, A4, A5 කියලා it could be, there could be many more objects, okay, with many IDs. So then the things or else attributes, properties of this object is account number, and then name of the account holder, and then the balance amount, isn't it? All this comes under what? The attribute. And then the things that you can do, the object can deposit, withdraw, and then show balance. So all this comes under what? Functions or else behaviors. එතකොට ඔයාලට මේකත් දන්නවා object එකක් කියලා කියන්නේ මොනවාද? object එකට තියෙන දේවල් මොනවාද? Okay, there are things that we can tell. Okay, නැත්නම් explanation එකක් දෙන්නට අපිට කියන්න පුළුවන් object එකකට මේක තියෙනවා ඒක තියෙනවා කියලා. And then what you can do with the object is known as method. හරි, එතකොට ඒ වගේම අපි class කියන්නේ මොනවාද කියලා ඉගෙන ගත්තා. I have another presentation. In that also the same thing is there. We'll go through this. Okay. Again same, object oriented programming කියන්නේ ඔයාලට දන්නවා මම කියලා දුන්න එක. Employee. Okay, so here they have given two examples. Manager is an object, employee is an object. Okay, එතකොට දැන් නිකන් හිතමු සජිත් කියලා manager කෙනෙක් ඉන්න පුළුවන්, සංජය කියලා manager කෙනෙක් ඉන්න පුළුවන්, ප්‍රදීප් කියලා manager කෙනෙක් ඉන්න පුළුවන්. Okay, පුලස්ති කියලා manager කෙනෙක් ඉන්න පුළුවන්, employee කෙනෙක් ඉන්න පුළුවන්. Okay, with the name of Nadira කියලා employee කෙනෙක් ඉන්න පුළුවන්. So under these objects there could be many objects. Understood? So manager කියන එක object එකක්, ඒකටම කියලා සමහර දේවල් තියෙනවා. manager will have like who is the manager, manager ට මොන මොන වගේ දේවල්ද තියෙන්නේ, name තියෙනවා, address තියෙනවා, phone numbers තියෙනවා, මේ වගේ දේවල් වලට අපි කියනවා managers state if not attributes මේ manager object එකට. ඒ වගේම manager කරන්න පුළුවන් දේවල් හරිද, taking decisions, things like whatever that they can do. Okay, so what they do කියන ඒකට තමයි අපි කියන්නේ method නැත්නම් behaviors කියලා. හරිද? So then object එකක් කියලා කියන්නේ මේකත් අපි බැලුවා, attribute, operations and behavior. Okay, we learned, and then this is what I showed you. Okay, an attribute. දැන් බලන්න මේකේ මම ඔයාලට clearly කියලා දීලා තියෙනවා. Attribute එකක් කියලා කියන්නේ represents the properties that describe the state of an object. Okay, describe කරන එකට තමයි අපි කියන්නේ attribute එකක් කියලා. Okay, so you are describing something. Okay, that is mainly known as attributes, if not state, if not data, if not what we can call properties. Okay, so whatever it is. So properties මොනවාද දැන් object එකක් තියෙනවා නම් ඒක ගැන ඔයා describe කරන එකට තමයි අපි කියන්නේ attribute එකක් කියලා. And can be derived from what other attributes shown by placing a slash before the attribute's name. Okay, can be derived from, okay, derived means we will be learning that what is derived කියන එක. Derived means puta, then okay, I'll explain it. Okay, derived කියන්නේ මොනවද කියලා I'll explain later on in some other presentation slide. It is there what is derived කියන එක. So what you do is like you just get some other state as well, attributes as well to another object. Okay, so we'll learn more about it. And operation එකක් කියලා කියන්නේ you will if it is an operation. Okay, then හිතන්නකෝ මගේ mouse එකේ මම click කරන එකක් ඒකත් operation එකක්, isn't it? If I am double clicking on a project, okay, so method එකක් කියලා කියන්නේ පුතා ඔයා දැන් හිතන්නකෝ දැන් for an example මගේ mouse එක තියෙනවනේ, මේ mouse එකෙන් මම මොනවද කරන්නේ නම් click කරනවා කිලිතන්න. Okay, so clicking is also a method, isn't it? I am doing something with the button, isn't it? Now if I am giving an attribute, like if I am describing about the mouse, then I can say okay, the mouse looks this, and then the brand of the mouse is this, and then the color of the mouse is this, the shape of the mouse is this. Likewise, things that I can describe about the mouse is known as attribute. When it comes to operation, even if I just click on the like right click, left click එහෙම තියෙනවනේ, ඒකත් operation කියන එකේ තමයි එන්නේ. So when you are mentioning about the operation, you have to make sure that you will use a closing and opening bracket. තේරුණාද? මේ කියන්නේ පුතා දැන් ඔයා හිතන්නකෝ mouse click එකක් කියලා කියන්නේ ඒකත් operation එකක් නේද? එතකොට operation එකක් ඔයා represent කරනකොට එහෙමත් නැත්නම් code කරනකොට එහෙමත් නැත්නම් ලියනකොට when you are doing that thing, when you are mentioning that as an operation, you have to like mention it with the opening and closing bracket. Okay, that has to be clear. I'll show you a few examples, then you will understand. So an operation represents the actions of functions that a class can perform. Okay, එක function එකක් තියනවා කියලා function එකක් කියලා කියන්නේ a click is a function නේද? So whatever the action that you are doing with that function is known as operation. Okay, එතකොට class එකක් තියෙනවා, ඒ class එකෙන් අපි මොන වගේ functions ද කරන්නේ හරිද? දැන් හිතන්නකෝ click mouse right click කියන එක action නේද? ඒක function එකක් නේද? ඒ වගේම left click එකක් කියලා කියන්නේ that is also another action, isn't it? So the things that you can do with the object or as the class is known as what? Operation. Can be classified like constructor or query or update operation. Okay, ඒ වගේම මේක constructor කියලා කියන්නේ you build the software with something. Okay, building කියලා කියන්නේ අපි construct කරනවා කියලා කියනවානේ. So if there is a assume that there is a building, okay, එතකොට අපි කියනවා we construct that ඒක construction එකේ තමයි තියෙන්නේ කියලා we just tell, right, that building is under construction කියලා නේද? Construction කියලා කියන්නේ it's like we are building something, isn't it? If not, we are doing something, isn't it? So something is happening. එතකොට මේක කියන්න පුළුවන් අපි operation එකක් කියලා කියන්නේ it can be construction, if not query, if not operation, update operation, මොනාර එකක් වෙන්න පුළුවන් operation කියන්නේ. And then parentheses may, yeah, bb contain parameters in information needed performing the operation. So that is what they are mentioning. When you are creating a method, you should use a parenthesis. We call this as parenthesis. Braces, parenthesis, brackets, commas, when we are coding or as programming operators. Okay, so operands, if not we can call it as operands. Okay, so operation මේ වගේ operation එකක් ඔයා call කරනකොට method එකක් call කරනකොට you have to use a parenthesis. That is what I was explaining earlier. Okay, opening and closing parenthesis එකක් ඔයා open add කරන්න ඕනේ with the method. Okay, we'll go through some other explanations or else the coding examples, then you will understand. So this is what I was explaining earlier in the last class, association කියන එක. Association කියන එක, this is a relationship in between two classes. Okay, classes දෙකක් තියෙනවා කියලා හිතන්නේ නැත්නම් more than two classes are available. So you will be having relationship in between those classes. Here it represents a relationship between multiple classes or class and itself. Okay, කියන්නේ classes ගොඩක් තියෙන්න පුළුවන්. එහෙමත් නැත්නම් දෙකක් තියෙන්න පුළුවන් even with it itself. Okay, so it shows the relationship between one class to another. If not එයාටම itself එයාටම relation එකක් තියෙනවා කියලා හිතමුකෝ. Sometimes even yesterday when in the database class we were learning about something called අර relation එක අපි ඉගෙන ගත්ත නේද? එක class එක object එකක් නැත්නම් entity, again it is relating with the same entity නේද? So ඒ වගේ unary නේද? Unary relationship කියලා එකක් මම ඔයාලට කියලා දුන්නා. So ඒ වගේ එකක් තමයි මේ association කියන්නේ. It is related to the database but this is related to the classes. Okay, same kind of a thing, but you will be having, so that is to create the database, this is to create the software. Okay, so software interface එකක් create කරන්න, development කරන්න එකට තමයි ඔයා මේ association කියන මේ relation එක පාවිච්චි කරන්නේ. So සමහර විට මේක එක class එකකින් ඉඳලා වෙන class එකකට connect වෙන්න පුළුවන්. Okay, one to many නැත්නම් many to many නැත්නම් many to one ඒ වගේ. එහෙමත් නැත්නම් ඒ class එකකින් ඉඳලා ආයෙත් ඒ class එකකටම. Okay, to the same class itself it could be related. Okay, ඒකට තමයි අපි කියන්නේ association කියලා. I'll just show you few examples for that. Okay, and then verbs, passes or role names which responsive. I'll just show you few examples for that. Generalization. Okay, here it is association. And well, let's check about the okay, I'll show you this example. I'll explain about this and then we'll go through the other relationships. Then බලන්න association එකට තමයි මේ example එක දීලා තියෙන්නේ. Look at this. So student is a class. So when you are talking about the attribute about the student class, we can say student name is an attribute, student address is an attribute, student phone number is an attribute, student's email ID is an attribute. Things that is related or as the description about the student is known as attribute. When it comes to methods, student details can be added, students details can be deleted, students details can be viewed. Things that we can do with these students details. Okay, so you are having all the details. Okay, description about the student object, then the things that you can do with the object is known as methods. Simply as that. So grade is also a class, course is also a card. So then හිතන්න student කෙනෙක් ඉන්නවා ලසිත් කියලා හිතන්න. So ලසිත් ගේ grade එක මේක, එයා course එක follow කරනවා, so එයාගේ grade එක මේක. So that is how we find out a particular person's details. Okay, එහෙමත් නැත්නම් information කියලා කියන්න පුළුවන්. So see, there is an association relationship between these two classes as well as grade. See, many students will be following many courses. Okay, so many courses could be followed by many students. One student will follow many courses and a course could be followed by many students. So that is why they have shown it like this, 0 to many, 0 to many. Even there could be no courses as well. Samara courses even without any student. 0 many. Okay, this is how we mention the association relationship in between two classes. And then the grade. If the student is following a course, only they will be having a grade. If not, there won't be any grades. ඔයා මේ programming කියන course එක follow කරනවා නම් විතරක් තමයි ඔයාට grade කියන එක තියෙන්නේ. If not, you won't have any grade, isn't it? So assume that there's a person, අපි කියමු කවද? Okay. දුමිදු ඉන්නවනේ. දැන් අපි කියමු දුමිදු මේ course එක follow කරනවා, programming course එක. දැන් මම අන්තිමට මේ course එක ඉවර වෙනකොට I am issuing an assignment sheet. Okay, මම ඔයාලට assignment sheet එකක් issue කරනවා කියලා හිතන්න. එතකොට දුමිදු කියන කෙනාගේ email address මේක, එයාගේ phone number එක මේක, එයාගේ age එක මේක, එයා follow කරන්නේ මේ course එක මොන course එකද? Programming course එක, duration of the course is this, ඒ වගේ teacher of the course is this, everything will be given, and එයාගේ grade of this course is how much කියන එක තමයි වැටෙන්නේ. So it is having an information about a particular course and a student. So මේ student මේ course එක follow කරන්නේ නැත්නම් no point of having this grade. නේද? So this is coming under these two. ඒ කියන්නේ student කෙනෙක් follow කරනවා නම් විතරක් තමයි grade කියන එක තියෙන්නේ. එහෙනම් තමයි බලන්න. It depends on both the side. Student have to follow a course. If there is a course, assume that programming course එකක් තියෙනවා, but there is no any student, so no point of having grade. නේද? Students ලා ඉන්නවා, they are not following any courses, then no point of having grade. නේද? It depends on both the side. Student එකටත් depend වෙනවා, course එකටත් depend වෙන එකක් තමයි මේ grade කියන එක. ඒ වගේම තමයි association relationship එකේ තව එකක් මෙතන දීලා තියෙනවා, person. So 0 to many person can work in 0 to many company. We can't say that all the people, all the person are working in a company. නේද? අපි බලන හැමෝම company එකේ වැඩ කරන කට්ටියද? නෑ, right? So assume that there is a company called ABC. එතකොට මේ ABC කියන company එකේ maybe sometimes there won't be anyone to work, isn't it? කවුරුත් වැඩ කරන්නේ නැත්නම් එතන job එකක් නෑ නේද? So එක person කෙනෙක් ABC කියන මේ company එකේ වැඩ කරනවා නම් then they are having a job to be done, isn't it? Maybe that could be a carpenter, or else it could be a software developer, or else a program writer, or else graphic designing, whatever it is. So they will have a job. So the job category or else this class depends on both the side. මේ class එක ඕනේ නම් ඔයාට person කෙනෙක් ඉන්න ඕනේ, අනිවාර්යෙන් එයා company එකේ වැඩ කරන්න ඕනේ. එතකොට තමයි එයාට job එකක් තියෙන්නේ, isn't it? So මේ job role එක දෙන්න නම් අනිවාර්යෙන් එයා company එකට එන්න ඕනේ. එමත් නැත්නම් හිතන්න there is a person, but without a company they won't be having a job, isn't it? Somehow we are working under a company, isn't it? So then company එකක් තියෙනවා, they are having jobs, but there is no any person, then no point of having the job, isn't it? So job depends on both the side, person and company. Am I clear? මේක තේරුණාද ඔයාට? Association කියන මේ relation එක කොහොමද වැඩ කරන්නේ කියලා. I'll give you some other examples as well with the diagram, class diagram, then you will clearly understand about this association, what relationship. Okay, furthermore we learn about it. Okay, make a generalization eකට we'll learn about the I'll give you the explanation about the generalization, then we will go through the example. So generalization is also a kind of a relationship. It represent a kind of a relationship between multiple classes. ඒ කියන්නේ a kind of කියන එක තමයි මේ relationship එකම. I'll show you the example, then you will understand. Kind of කියන එක තමයි relationship in between the classes. Okay, so we'll go through this. බලන්න. vehicle කියන class එකක් තියෙනවා. Land is a kind of a vehicle. Land vehicle කියලා තියෙනවනේ. Now the car, bus, all this comes under what? Land vehicle, isn't it? So land is a kind of a vehicle. නේද? Air vehicles are there. Aeroplane, helicopter, all this comes under what? Air vehicle, isn't it? So air comes under, it is a kind of a vehicle. Sea, okay, you can say ship, all this comes under what? Submarine, all this comes under sea, right? So sea is a sea vehicle, is also a kind of a vehicle. Okay, එතකොට මේක fully depend වෙන්නේ. Okay, it's not fully depending, it's a partial dependence. Okay, it's partially depending on vehicle. Now see, land is partially depending on vehicles, air is partially depending on vehicle, sea is partially depending on vehicle. Okay, it's a kind of this. Okay, land is a kind of vehicle, air vehicles are kind of a vehicle, sea vehicles are kind of a vehicle. එකම vehicle kind එක එන ඒවා. And then under the land vehicles, truck, okay, truck is a kind of a land vehicle. Make a making kind එක. Okay, is a kind කියලා තමයි අපි කියන්නේ. හරිද? ඒකට අපි කියනවා generalization relationship කියලා. Okay, so it's partially depending. See, partial, it's not fully dependent but partially depending on truck vehicle. It's a kind, is a kind of, okay, car කියන්නේ is a kind of land vehicle. Okay, okay, plane is a kind of a air vehicle. Helicopter is a kind of a air vehicle. Ship is a kind of a sea vehicle. Submarine is a kind of a sea vehicle. So these are is a kind of vehicles. So එතකොට ඔයා ඒක is a kind of කියලා mention කරනකොට generalization එකේ ඔයා is a kind කියන එක mention කරනකොට you won't fill this what triangle. Okay, so මේ වගේ එකක් ඔයා add කරන්න ඕනේ. එතකොට මේ arrow එක ඔයා fill කරන්න. Okay, so you won't fill it but it will have just, you will have a like arrow kind of thing but it will be blank. තේරුණාද? මේක blank එකේ තමයි ඔයා තියාගන්න ඕනේ. මේක fill කරන්න හොඳ නැහැ. Okay, මේකට අපි කියනවා මේ වගේ fill කරන්න නැතුව තියෙනවා නම් relationship එකක්. ඒකට අපි කියනවා generalization relationship එකක් කියලා. වලංගිචා. සරියා? Now just tell me some other examples. Animals තියනවා නේද? Animals එකේ මොන වගේ animals ද තියෙන්නේ? Just tell me. Bird නේද? ඒ වගේ තියෙනවා land එකේ යන animals තියෙනවා නේද? Things are there like sea එකේ තියෙන animals තියෙනවා. So ඒකෙන් අපිට කියන්න පුළුවන් bird එකේ මොන වගේ birds දෙන්නේ. Okay? So things like that, like under this comes partially dependent. Okay, partially තමයි depend වෙලා තියෙන්නේ. මේක fully depend වෙලා නැහැ. ඒ වගේ මේ relation එකට අපි කියනවා generalization කියලා. And aggregation. So aggregation කියලා කියන්නේ is a part of a kind of relationship එකක් කියලා කියන්නේ it's generalization, a kind of. Okay, it's a kind of that, it's a kind of this කියලා කියනවනේ. ඒකට අපි කියනවා generalization relation එකක් කියලා. is a part of කියන එකට අපි කියනවා aggregation කියලා relationship එකට. Represents a logical, a part of relationship between multiple classes or class and itself. It is a special form of an association. Make a special form of an association. Association, that is what we learned in this. So this is aggregation kiyanika. It's a special form of association relationship. Okay, see, that's how they have mentioned. So see, they now in a generalization they have just used this mark, right? But when it comes to aggregation, see, they have used a diamond shape. Okay, diamond එකක් පාවිච්චි කරලා තියෙනවා නම් you have to understand that is an aggregation relationship. එතකොට ඔයා class diagram එකක් බලනකොටම you have to understand if it is just a normal line with this what multiplicity, then you have to understand that is an association relationship. If it is something like this, then you have to understand that is a generalization relation. If it is something like this, then you have to understand that is aggregation. If it is something like this, then you have to understand that it is a composition relationship. Okay, so then බලන්න මේක aggregation කියන මේ relationship එක, it represents the logical, a part of relationship between multiple classes or class and itself. ඒ කියන්නේ වෙන class එකත් එක්ක මේක part එකක් විදියට තියෙන class එකක් කියලා පෙන්වන්න පුළුවන්. එහෙමත් නැත්නම් මේක පාවිච්චි කරන්න පුළුවන් to show ඒකෙන්ම තව එයාගේ itself, okay, with the same class itself there is a relationship, aggregation relationship එකක් තියෙනවා කියන එකත් පෙන්වන්නත් අපිට මේ aggregation කියන මේ relation මේ symbol එක අපිට පාවිච්චි කරන්න පුළුවන්. So many to one, one to many මේ වගේ relationship එකත් එක්ක cardinality එකත් එක්කම පාවිච්චි කරන්න පුළුවන්. We'll just go through the relationship examples aggregation එකට. So see, employee is a part of department. Okay, so department, employee කෙනෙක් department එකේ නැතුවත් ඉන්න පුළුවන්, isn't it? So employee කියන්නේ එයා it's a part of a department. Sorry, so somehow the department එකේ තමයි ඉන්න ඕනේ නේද? So it's like depends on the department. Employee කෙනෙක් some, even though if you are working under someone, you have to work under like you have to work under someone, right? So එතකොට ඔයා employee කෙනෙක් විදියට ඉන්න පුළුවන්, even if there is no department you can work still, isn't it? But you are a part of that department. Then wheel එකක් අපිට වෙනම අපිට ගලවලා ගන්න පුළුවන්, isn't it? We can remove and use the wheel to another car as well. But it is a part of what? It is a part of a vehicle. Okay, it is a part of vehicle. Desk is a part of an office. Neither. Even we can use the desk in some other place, like we can take it to the house and we can use it, isn't it? But it is a part of an office. Okay, මේ වගේ ගොඩක් දේවල් තියෙනවා real time classes වලට ආවම. So a class will have is a part of relationship with another class. Then අපි composition කියන්නේ මොනවද කියලා බලමු, and then I'll explain all things together. Represent a physical a part of relationship between multiple classes or class in itself. It is a special form of an association. This is also a special form an association. Okay, but you will be filling the diamond shape at the end. Okay, so if you see something like which has been filled, something like this, එතකොට understand කරන්න ඕනේ මේක composition relationship එකක් කියන එක. Okay, is a part of this is also the same, but see here door is a part of car, but it's fully dependent. See, there is a point of removing and keeping the door separately. මේ කාර් එකක් තියනවා කියලා හිතන්න ඔයාගේ ගෙදර, then ඔයා මොනවද කරන්නේ නම් මේක part එකක් නේ කියලා ඔයා නිකන් ඒක මේ remove කරලා වෙන කාර් එකකට මේ attach කරන්න හරි නැත්නම් ඔයා වෙන කොහරි තියාගෙන ඉන්නව නම් ඒකෙන් වැඩක් තියෙනවද? No, it's fully dependent. මේ කාර් එකට fully depend වෙලා තියෙන එකක් තමයි car door කියන එක. Okay, it is just has been designed for that particular car. So no point of you are just removing it, isn't it? So it's fully dependent. It is a part of a car and it is fully dependent on the parent class or else the class. Okay, this class. Okay, this is known as parent class. Room is, okay, it is a part of a building. So assume that in your house you are having 3 or 2 rooms, right? You will be having more rooms. So can you just remove the room and use it in some other place? No, it is a part of the building and it's fully dependent on that building. Then අපි මේක ගත්තාම employee කෙනෙක් ඉන්නවා department එකේ. එයා depend වෙලා ඉන්නවා මේ department එකට. Okay, partially dependent. Then මේ department එකේ ඉඳලා මේ supervisor නැත්තම් manager කියනවා ඔයා මේ සජිත් ඔයා මේ department එකේ ඉන්නේ නැතුව ඔයා අනිත් department එකට යන්නකෝ කියලා. Okay, if not they are like transferring him to another higher department. So he is removing it from it and then he is going to another department. So it's not fully dependent. The partially depend වෙලා ඉන්නවා ඉඳ තමයි එයාට එහෙම ඉඳලා එයාට වෙන මේ department එකට යන්න පුළුවන් වෙන්නේ. But when it comes to room, can we just remove it and build attach it with another building? Can't, isn't it? So it's fully depend on the parent class. Got it? It is a part of the building class and it is fully dependent. If they are showing something like this, then you have to understand it's fully dependent on this class කියන එක. Okay, එතකොට බලන්න මේ vehicle කියන class එකේ vehicle එකක් තියෙනවා. ඒකට wheels තියෙනවා. Then you are removing one wheel and then you are placing it to another wheel and you are attaching another wheel to this vehicle. Okay, car එකක් තියෙනවා. ඒ car එකකින් ඉඳලා ඔයා wheel එක remove කරලා you can even attach it to another vehicle, right? වෙන මොනාරි car එකකට ඒක attach කරන්න පුළුවන්. So that can be removed and exchanged, isn't it? So then we can call this kind of an aggregation relationship as this. Okay, එතකොට එයා partially තමයි depend වෙන්නේ කාටද parent class එකට. එතකොට parent class එකක් තියෙනවා. ඒකෙන් partially depend වෙලා තියෙනවා නම් you won't color this diamond. Okay, you can even remove it and you can place it to the another class. Office එකක් තියෙනවා. ඒකේ desk තියෙනවා. So මේක partially නේද මේ office එකේ තියෙන්නේ. දැන් assume කරන්න මෙහි තියෙන desk ඔක්කොම remove කරගෙන නැත්තම් අරගෙන යනවා වෙන office එකකට. Okay, you are transferring from this office to another office, then you are taking all your things, with that you are taking your desk as well. So that can be taken, isn't it? So since that is partially dependent on the office, then you can take it. If it is fully dependent, you can't take it. මේ බලන්න mouse එකක් තියෙනවා. There is a point of removing the button of the mouse. Can you use the button remove කරලා ඔයා වෙන mouse එකකට දාලා ඔයාගේ mouse එකේ තියෙන button එක පාවිච්චි කරන්න පුළුවන්ද? Nah, you can't do that. It's fully, this button is fully depend on this mouse. So you can't separate it. You can't use this button class in another class with another class. You can't connect it with another class. So if you see something like this which has been fully covered, then it is mentioning that it is a composition relation. Okay, so the composition කියලා කියන්නේ it's fully dependent. Aggregation කියලා කියන්නේ partially dependent. generalization කියලා කියන්නේ is a part of කියන එකට. Okay, we can call it as inheritance. මම ඔයාලට කියලා දුන්නා නේද inheritance කියලා මේ data මේකක් තියෙනවා කියලා format එකක් තියෙනවා කියලා නේද object oriented එකේ. I'll give you another example for that as well. And then association. Then association එකෙන්ම තමයි මේ aggregation ඒ වගේම composition කියන මේ දෙකම එන්නේ. මේ දෙකම. සමහර විට මේ relation එක aggregation වෙන්න පුළුවන්. එහෙමත් නැත්නම් composition වෙන්න පුළුවන්. So for composition, okay, these are the examples that they have given. Okay, that's all then. And is this is clear? Now tell me. Composition kiyanne monada? Aggregation kiyanne monada? Generalization kiyanne monada? E wagema association kiyanne monada kiyala therunada? And I'll show you an example. Is it clear, Buddha? I mean, kiyanna balanna. Now tell me here what kind of a relationship has been shown. මොන වගේ relationship එකක්ද මේකේ තියෙන්නේ? They have even can you guys tell me? මේකට අපි මොනවද කියන්නේ? We call this relation as what? Generalization, isn't it? Generalization කියන relation එක තමයි මේක නේද? So normal order කියන එක is a part of order. Special order is a part of order. නේද? එහෙමද නැද්ද? Isn't it? Can you tell me? Guys, can you understand? So look at this and tell me. So what are the relations that you have under this? මට කියන්න බලන්න. Customer ටත් order ටත් තියෙන relation එක මොනවාද? Customer, aggregation,
No.
then what's that? What is the relation between customer and order? An object having relation with another object. Association. Very good. Very good. Okay. Association. See, customer kela object එකක් තියෙනවා, order kela object එකක් තියෙනවා. So both are having just a what connection. Okay. It's not fully dependent. It's not partially dependent. It's just having a relationship, isn't it? So customer will order, isn't it? Orders will be taken from the customer. So that's all. So this product and order both are having a relation. What is the relation, Puta?
Composition.
Very good. Composition. See, product එකක් order or product එකක් වෙනම තියනවා කියලා හිතන්න. So order කියලා වෙනම අපිට class එකක් තියෙනවා. So without the order, no point of having the products, isn't it? Order කියන මේක it's like fully dependent. Products are fully dependent order, isn't it? So assume that in a like we can say supermarket, they are having all the products or everything, even in a textile shop. Okay, or as Shriyani එකට යනවා කියලා දාන්න. Then they have like publish කරලා තියෙන all the things are products, all the products are there, but they are not getting any orders from the customer. Okay, හිතන්න එයාලා customers ලා ගාව ඉඳලා orders ගන්න නැහැ. එයාලා ඒක විකුණන්නේ නැහැ කියලා. So no point of having the products, isn't it? So products is fully depend on the order. If orders comes only, the products can be even produced, isn't it? Product එකක් අපි හදනවා නම් ඒක orders තියෙනව ඉඳ තමයි product එකක් හදන්නේ නේද? So product is fully dependent on the order. Okay, sorry. Orders is fully depend on the product is fully depend on the order. Then what is the relationship between the stock and the product?
Aggregation.
Aggregation. Very good. Very good. So then බලන්න stocks තියෙන්න පුළුවන් නේද? Stocks තියෙන්න පුළුවන්. So product is a part of the stock. Okay, it's not fully dependent, isn't it? No, like then හිතන්නකෝ product එකක් stock එකෙන් ඉඳලාම ගන්න ඕනේ කියලා නෑ නේද? Even from another shop we can get, isn't it? So that is not like fully dependent, but usually from the stock only the products would be taken, isn't it? So it's partially depend on the stock. එතකොට product කියන මේ class එක, this is a child class, it is partially depending on the stock class. Okay, and then it is fully depending on the order class. If there is no order, no point of having a product, no point of getting it from the stock, isn't it? So if you are having a product, okay, product එකක් අපිටම produce කරන්නත් පුළුවන්. එහෙමත් නැත්නම් stock එකකින් ඉඳලා ගන්නත් පුළුවන්. So in the it's partially depending on the stock class. Okay, so that's it. Now tell me, what is the relationship that you can see here? What are the relations?
Generalization.
Generalization is there, and what else you have?
Association.
Association. Very good. So you have generalization. Manager is a staff, is a part of staff, isn't it? Cashier is a kind of staff, isn't it? Staff is the parent class. So these two are is a part of this class, isn't it? And then product, okay, manager, and then the product class having just a normal association relation, and then you are having the cashier will be having a receipt for the receipt, and then the customer also will be having a relation which is association, and then the supplier and product will have a relationship. Even you can mention aggregation or else association. Aggregation can be applied over here, right? With having the products, you can even supplier is not fully dependent but partially depend on supplier, isn't it? So that can be added over there, because all these are then all all these aggregation, all these things. See, I'll explain you, I'll show you. See here, class okay. It is a special form of an association. Association a special form aggregation. See, it is a special form of an association. That means aggregation and composition both comes under what? Association type. එතකොට association එකෙම special type එකක් තමයි මේ aggregation, ඒ වගේම composition කියන එක. So you have to identify whether it is fully dependent or partially dependent, and you have to color which is fully depending on which one, if not which is partially depending on which one කියන එක ඔයාලා identify කරලා ඒක mention කරන එක තමයි ඔයාලගේ අතේ තියෙන මේ දේ එක. Okay, so you have to identify and you have to mention it over there. So that is what we learn, that is there under this aggregation, association, composition, ඒ වගේම what generalization කියන මේ relation එකේ. හරිද? එතකොට I hope you understood all these relationships well. We'll be somehow we will be creating some other. Okay, for example, I'll show you few class diagrams and I'll ask you few questions. Then you just tell me class diagram. Okay, මම ඔයාලට examples ටිකක් පෙන්නන්නම්. ඒකෙන් ඔයාලා කියන්න මොන වගේ relation එකක්ද මෙතන පාවිච්චි කරන්න පුළුවන්. එහෙම නැත්නම් මොන වගේ relation එකක්ද තියෙන්නේ කියන එක ඔයාලා කියන්න. හරි? Okay, for example, we'll take this class diagram for a library management system. Okay, so this is a class diagram for a library management system. They have clearly mentioned the aggregation, association, and then generalization relationships as well. There is any other relationships that I can share it with you? Is it clear for you guys? Because I just want you to make sure whether you got it or not. Okay, so if you don't understand, please let me know. Okay, I'll try to explain it again, because this is really important when it comes to programming. Without knowing about these class diagrams and other stuffs, you won't be able to even code properly. Okay, programmers should understand clear idea behind what? The class diagram. Okay, so okay, look at this. So library management system. under this, users depends on what? Library management system class. Then book fully depends. See, having just book class is not enough, but it is fully depending. Can you see? It has been colored. தேர்னாத மேக்க விளங்கிச்சா பாருங்க. யூசர்னு சொல்லி ஒருத்தர் வேறையா கிளாஸ் உண்டு, புக்குன்னு சொல்லி ஒரு கிளாஸ் உண்டு, லைப்ரரியன் சொல்லி ஒரு கிளாஸ் உண்டு ஈக்குது. பட் இவங்க எல்லாத்தையும் வேறையா வச்சிருந்ததுக்கு வேலை இல்லை. யூசர் කියලා වෙනම ක්ලාස් එකක්, බුක් කියලා වෙනම ක්ලාස් එකක්, ලයිබ්‍රරි කියලා වෙනම ක්ලාස් එකක් තියලා වැඩක් නැහැ නේද? All this should depend on what? It is depending on the management system. නේද? library management system එකේ fully depend වෙනවා. නේද? එතකොට බලන්න මේ හැම එකක්ම කලර් කරලා තියෙනවා. So what kind of a relationship is this? We call this relationship as what?
Composition.
Composition. Very good. And tell me, is there is any other composition relationship? Only these three or any other?
Have. I can't see that.
Yeah. Account, okay? Account is fully depend on user. Without the user, no point of having the account class. නේද? account එකක් තියනවා නම් user කෙනෙකුට තමයි account එකක් තියෙන්න ඕනේ. So user, okay, account කියන මේ class එක, it's fully depend on the user. Okay, not even partially dependent. Partially dependent, even without the user, we can have the account and we can like connect it with some other classes. But here it says it's fully depend on the user class. Okay, so somehow without the user, no point of having the account. The account එකක් තියෙනවා නම් අනිවාර්යෙන් user කියන class එක තියෙන්න ඕනේ. And there is another relationship. What is the relationship?
Aggregation.
Another kind of a relationship. Aggregation. Not the aggregation. No.
Down.
See, there is something else, Buddha. Not aggregation. Yeah, what is that, Buddha? Generalization. Can you see? Association is also there. Generalization. See, user, under the user, staff, student, both comes. This, what is this? Parent, from the parent class, is a part of. Kila dunna ned. Can you remember? So staff is a part of a user. Student is a part of a user. So what is this relationship? Generalization relationship. Can you remember? Kila dunna ned. Did I explain? Here, this is the relationship. Land is a part of vehicle. Air is a part of vehicle. So then generalization කියන එක තමයි මේ මෙතන දීලා තියෙන්නේ. So staff is a part of a user. Student is a part of a user. හරිද? Account is fully depend on the user. Okay, without the user class, we won't be able to have the accounts. And then there are some association relationships as well. Book and then library database having a relationship. හරිද? එතකොට one book relation, okay, if you take one book, then it is in one database. library එකට එකම database එකක් තමයි තියෙන්නේ නේද? library database එකක් තියෙනවා, ඒකට ඒකෙදි තියෙනවා. If we take the library in library database, there won't be one book, isn't it? Instead of having one book details, there would be many book details, isn't it? Where? In the library database. And librarian and the library database having a connection. In a library, there will be one librarian. නේද? එකම එක librarian කෙනෙක් තමයි ඉන්නේ. He or she will have access to the library database. Okay, only one database will be. So one-to-one association relationship. And then librarian are the one who will be showing. Okay, they are the one who will be issuing the book. They are the one who will be returning the book. All these things will be undertaken by whom? The librarian. එතකොට එක librarian කෙනෙක්, he won't take only the he won't return only one book, isn't it? So then they will deal with many books. In the මෙතන බලන්න one to many කියන relation එකක් තමයි මේ librarian and then book මේ දෙකටම තියෙන්නේ. And then account එකක් තියෙනනේ. Now the user will be having an account. ඒක library database එකේ තියෙනවා. In one library database there would be many account details, isn't it? User කෙනෙක්ගේ many account details තියෙන්න පුළුවන්. So then all these classes, as you can see, it is having attributes and then methods as well. So book make a ගත්තාම book class එක ගත්තාම title, author, okay, ISBN, publication, all this comes under what? Attributes. ඒ වගේම method එක ගත්තාම ඒ වගේ මොනවද තියෙන්නේ? Showed due dates නැත්නම් reservation status, okay? ඒ වගේම feedback. All these comes under book method. ඒ වගේම මෙතන බලන්න librarian එකට verify librarian and then search, okay, for the librarian එකේ library search කරන්න පුළුවන්, එයාව verify කරන්න පුළුවන්. All this comes under librarian. So things are there which we can do with the classes, that is known as method, and then the things that we describe about a method is known as attributes. So I hope it is clear. And there is another class diagram over here. It has only generalization and association relationship. So then we'll check if there is anything else. Okay, make up a balance. So this is a diagram. This is for what? UML diagram I cannot see. Okay, so order, customer, order details, and then item, payment. Okay, this is for we can say that this is a payroll system. Okay, so then බලන්න customer class එකක් තියෙනවා. මේක order කියන class එකත් එක්ක association relationship එකක් තමයි තියෙන්නේ. A customer can order many orders, but the order has to be given to one customer only, isn't it? We can't get orders from one customer and we can't issue it to all the customers neither. Order details is partially depend on order. Okay, so partially, not fully dependent. See, it has been partially dependent because partial dependent එකක් කියලා කියන්නේ order details තියෙන්න පුළුවන්, වෙනම අපිට තියෙන්න පුළුවන්. මේකේ බලන්න quantity කීයද, ඒ වගේම text status එක මොනවාද, ඒ වගේම මේකේ තියෙනවා subtotal එක, ඒ වගේම weight, ඒ වගේම text එක කීයද, මෙහෙම එකක් මේ ඉන්නේ කොහෙද, මේ order detail කියන එකේ. So it is partially depending on the order details. Okay, not fully dependent, it's partially depending on it. It is a part of the order class. And then you are having the generalization over here. So most probably in all the ER diagrams, or not in the ER diagram, sorry, UML diagrams, you will be having this generalization what relationship, because like most probably in most of the time that is the inheritance. Neither cash is a part of payment, check is a part of payment, credit is a part of payment. Okay, so we'll be drawing one class diagram, so don't worry. In that we will be doing it somehow. We will be explain. I'll explain it to you again. So here another example has been given. Mankiwa neda samara composition emat nathang aggregation relationships may relate with the same class. Neda එක ක්ලාස් එකකින් ඉඳලා වෙන ක්ලාස් එකට යන එකක් තියෙනවා. එයා ගාව ඉඳලා ආයෙත් එයාටම රිලේට් වෙන එකක් තියෙනවා. බලන්න මේ වගේ එකක්. Okay, can't see the text, it is blurred, I cannot read it out, but somehow I just wanted to show you here there is a relationship which is coming from the same class to that, to itself. තේරුණාද? මේ වගේ relationship උත් තියෙනවා. It's depending on the requirement and the case study. Okay, it depends, we'll see. Okay, depends on it. මම අපි ඉගෙන ගන්නකොට ඔයාලට මම කියලා දෙන්නම්. Okay, තව එකක් තියෙනවා login and registration system එකක් කියලා එකක් තියෙනවා. So user type කියලා එකක් තියෙනවා. Admin කියන කෙනා, it is fully depending on the user type. Okay, user type කියලා කිව්වම අපි දැන් සමහර විට ඔයා computer එකක් නැත්නම් මොනාරි වෙන software එකක් පාවිච්චි කරනකොට ඒකේ තියෙනවා ඔයා admin කෙනෙක්ද නැත්නම් student කෙනෙක්ද teacher කෙනෙක්ද ඒ වගේ තියෙනව නේද? So මෙයාලා fully depend on the user type. Okay, එමත් නැත්නම් student කියන්නේ that is fully depend on the user type. Okay, so fully dependent කියලා කියන්නේ admin කියලා අපිට වෙනම තියලා වැඩක් නැහැ. Okay, so it's fully depending on the user type. And then login information කියන්නේ that is also fully depend on what? The admin class. But user is partially depend on the user type. සමහර විට දැන් admin කෙනෙක් නම් දැන් website එකක් අපි ගත්තාම the owner of the website is known as admin of the website නේද? but the users are known as just normal users. Then මං ඔයා අපි හැමෝම normal users. දැන් දරාස් කියන වෙබ්සයිට් එකේ ඒ වෙබ්සයිට් ඕන නැත්නම් ඒ වෙබ්සයිට් එක manage කරගෙන ඉන්න කෙනාට තමයි අපි admin කියලා කියන්නේ නේද? So they will definitely have a login information. එයාලට back end එකට යන්න එහෙම එයාලට ඔක්කොම details තියෙනවා. අපි මොනවද කරන්නේ? We will just log into the system. අපි user කෙනෙක් විදියට login වෙනවා, and then we will be purchasing things, and then we will be getting registered to the AliExpress or eBay or whatever the website it is, isn't it? So we are known as users. The admin is someone who is having the authority of that particular website. එතකොට අපි කියන්න පුළුවන් owner නැත්නම් admin කියලා. So they are fully depending on the system, but we are not fully depending. අපි users ලා අපි fully depend වෙනවද ඒ software එකට නැත්නම් website එකට? අපි Daraz එකට fully depend වෙලාද ඉන්නේ? නෑ නේද? We are partially depending. If we don't want to buy it from the Daraz, then we can go to another website නේද? But the owner of the website, they are fully depending because they are the one who is managing the website. ඒක එයාලගේ නේද? එතකොට අපිත් මොනවද කරන්න ඕනේ? login information එක අනිවාර්යෙන් දෙන්න ඕනේ නේද? එතකොට තමයි අපිට register වෙන්න පුළුවන්. So login information is fully depending on the user. So user, soon after you get into the website, they will be asking you to register or else login into the system නේද? Then registration information, that is a part of the user. Okay, information of the user is the registration information නේද? එතකොට ඔයා login වෙනකොට ඒ details ඔක්කොම දීලා තමයි login වෙන්නේ. So login details is fully depending on the login information. Okay, එතකොට login information details කියන එක information එකේ fully depend වෙනවලු. So these are like few examples. We'll do some of these examples. We'll just go through one scenario and we'll draw it by ourselves. We'll draw one class diagram by ourselves, then you will clearly understand. Okay, I'll give you some homeworks as well. හරි, දැන් ඔයාලට තේරුණා කියලා හිතනවා. Did you understand? Aggregation, association, generalization කියන මේ relationships කියන ඔයාලට හොඳට තේරුණාද? Did you understand? Complete understand එකක් තියෙනවද? Guys, tell me. If you have, you can ask me. Do you have any doubts? Any doubts? Like you mean like I mean that even if it is one relationship that I wanted to explain you, or else if you couldn't understand any of these relationship, again tell me, then I'll try to give another example and explain it to you. මුනාරේ වගේ තියනවාද? මුනාරේ එකක් තේරුන්නේ නැති එකක් තියනවාද? ළමයින් කවුරු හරි එහෙම ඉන්නවද? එතකොට අපි ඉගෙන ගත්ත තව දෙයක් තමයි ඔයාගේ database then object oriented programming එකක් කරනකොට ඒකෙදි main features තියනවා කියන එක නේද? So එකක් තමයි abstraction කියන feature එක, encapsulation, inheritance, polymorphism කියලා මම ඔයාලට features හතරක් ගැන ගන්නවා. Can you remember? விளங்கிச்சு? நான் ஃபஹமிக்குதா? நீங்க வந்து நான் லாஸ்ட் கிளாஸ்ல உங்களுக்கு படிச்சு தந்த ஒன்று விஷயம் தான் லாஸ்ட் கிளாஸ்க்கு முந்தின கிளாஸ் வரைக்கும் நாங்க வந்து ஆப்ஜெக்ட் ஓரியன்டட் ப்ரோக்ராமிங்ல இருக்கிற ஃபீச்சர்ஸை பத்தி படிச்சோம். அதுல அப்ஸ்ட்ராக்ஷன் என்று சொல்லி ஒன்று படிச்சோம், என்கேப்சுலேஷன் என்று சொல்லி ஒன்று படிச்சோம், இன்ஹெரிட்டன்ஸ் சொல்லி ஒன்று படிச்சோம், பாலிமார்பிசம் சொல்லி ஒன்று படிச்சோம். நான் ஃபஹமிக்குதா? මතක තියනවද කාට හරි මතක එන්කැප්සුලේෂන් polymorphism? Okay, we'll just have a look at. එතකොට abstraction කියලා කියන්නේ hidden, okay, hidden the internal important details. Okay, මම මේක කියලා දුන්නා. There could be some things which is not relevant to some others. Okay, so for example, similar to a coffee machine in your kitchen. Okay, so coffee machine in your kitchen, you just need to know which method of the object are available to call the call and which input parameters and needed to the trigger specify operation. Yeah, so then හිතන්න coffee machine එකක් තියනවා කියලා ඔයාගේ kitchen එකේ. So then ඔයාලට දැනගන්න ඕනේ එකම දෙයක් තමයි, එකම දේ, which button has to be clicked, and then how do I need to confirm, and then after that you will be having the coffee, isn't it? Coffee machine එකක් තියෙනවා නම් if you wanted to have a cold coffee, you can even press the cold coffee button, then it will automatically give you the cold coffee, isn't it? If not, if you just click on one some other coffee like hot coffee or else දැන් තියෙනව නේද වෙන වෙන coffees නේද? So ඔයාට ඕන flavor එක select කරලා you have to just click on the button. Then automatically it will generate and it will give you the needed thing, isn't it? So then abstraction කියලා කියන්නේ it hides internal important details කියලා කියන්නේ then internally ඔයාට මොනවාද වෙන්න ඕන කියන එක ඔයාට දැනගන්න ඕනේද? No point of knowing it, isn't it? So internally it is like mixing all the mixtures and then it is adding sugar. All these things are happening inside the machine, but you are not be able, you won't be able to see that thing, isn't it? You will be just clicking on the button and then the output comes. තේරුණාද? එතකොට abstraction කියලා කියන්නේ there are things that is not needed for the user. Okay, so that thing will be hidden. I'll show you a few examples in the internet. Let's start abstraction negative. If you have any doubts, please let me know. Okay, questions, doubts තියෙන අය ටිකක් කියන්න මම ඔයාලට explanation එක හරියට දෙන්නම්. හරිද? මොනවා හරි එකක් තියෙනවා නම් තේරුන්නේ නැති එකක් කියන්න මම ආයෙත් ඒක explain කරන්න බලන්න. Okay, with some class examples I'll show you. Okay, class examples ටිකක් පෙන්නන්නම්, then you will understand. Class diagram එකෙන්ම තියෙන abstraction examples. It's loading. Okay. Can you see this? It's loading. See, okay, look at this. So there are 3 classes. Okay, so then මෙතන classes 3ක් තියෙනවා. Then OD කියන මේ class එකේ ඉඳලා car and then machine. So, okay, so this is a brand of the car, right? So this has been car කියන එක abstract කරලා අරන් තියෙනවා. Okay, and then machineries. So in the machine, okay, the machine can be like it does 2 methods, like stop and start can be done. Okay, accelerate and then slow down, all this can be done in the class. එතකොට stop කරන එකත් start කරන එකත් it is happening inside. Okay, this is implemented inside the machine. Okay, extend වෙලා ඔයාලට මොනවද කරන්නේ? accelerate කරනකොට ඔයා තමයි ඒක accelerate කරන්නේ, slow down කරන්නේ ඔක්කොම ඔයාලා තමයි කරන්නේ. Okay, you are the one who is doing, but you doesn't know what is actually happening inside the machine. engine එකේ මොනවද actually වෙන්නේ කියන එක ඔයාලට දන්න. Am I clear? Get it? Did you understand? But all this comes under what? OD කියන මේ කාර් එකේ තියෙන accelerate කරන්න පුළුවන්, slow down කරන්න පුළුවන්, stop කරන්න පුළුවන්, start කරන්න පුළුවන්. But stop and start, it is inside the machine, it is happening. But accelerate and slow down, that can be done by the user. Understood? I'll give you another example. Right? Okay, so here see, a person is there. Okay, the first name Victor, John, okay, Roger, likewise the names can be given, and then the okay, this cannot be the abstracted class. Then බලන්න මේක abstract, then user කෙනෙක් ඉන්නවා. හරිද? user class එකක් තියෙනවා. So you will be giving the name and then the what ID as an input to the system, but you won't be able to say what is the data type of the name. Okay, මේක ඇතුලේ තියෙන දේවල් ඔක්කොම ආට බලන්න පුළුවන්ද? What is the data type, what is the method that is being used, what they have coded, how that is being taken, what is the data type of the ID. මේ හැම දෙයක්ම ඔයාට බලන්න පුළුවන්ද? No, that is known as attribute. Sorry, abstraction. Sorry. Am I clear? ඔයාලට ඒකත් තේරුණාද නැත්නම් මම වෙන එකක් කරන්න පෙන්නන්න. Wait. Data abstraction. Okay, look at this. Can you see this? Okay, so balanna. So there is a class called car driver. Okay, so things that he or she can do. Okay, fill the fuel. okay fuel එක fill කරන්න පුළුවන් නේද එයාට පුළුවන් but turn on එතුලේ වෙන දේවල් ඔක්කොම එයාට දන්නවද inside the machine what is happening කියන එක fuel එක fill කරාම it is getting started you can put the key and then the machine will get started and then you can move like you can drive the car isn't it මේකට හොඳ example එකක් පෙන්නන්න ඕනේ නම් let me show you real time coding example එකක් පෙන්වන්න හොඳයි maybe I might have it in the okay මම මෙහෙම කියන්න දැන් person කෙනෙක් ඉන්නවා හරිද එතකොට එයා අපි නිකන් බලනකොට එයාගේ talent එක එයා මොන family එකේද ඉන්නේ okay so the name and then එයාගෙන තියෙන දේවල් තියෙනවනේ so whatever that is visible to us is just the data right but there are things that is abstracted okay සමහර දේවල් තියෙනවා එයා ඒ දේවල් අපිට දන්නේ නැහැ isn't it like දැන් හිතන්නකෝ ඔයාට අලුතින් යාළුවෙක් ඉන්නවා කියලා okay assume that you are having a like a friend of yours so he or she might be like having a name you will be asking okay what is your name and then from where you are coming everything but exactly you doesn't know the address isn't it exactly like you doesn't know the age maybe they might not tell you the age isn't it so things that you doesn't know okay not is relevant it is not relevant for you okay ඔයා බලන හැමෝගාම ගින් ආනවද ඔයාගේ age එක මොනවාද ඔයා කොහෙන්දලා දෙන්නේ exactly කියන්න ඔයා කොහෙන්දලා දෙන්නේ කියලා have you asked things like that no right so things that is really relevant to the person will be given and then other things will be abstracted okay ඒක hide කළා තමයි තියෙන්නේ it's private to that person it won't be able to like others won't be able to see that okay so yes you calculate the area and then display okay so then implementation rectangle and calculate area abstract kala tiyenne method එකේ it okay yeah here implementation එක hide කරලා තියෙනවා showing only the functionalities calculate the area and it will show you the output but it won't show you how they have implemented even if you go to the website now I'll just show you ikman.lk කියන website එකට අපි යමු ikman.lk කියන website එකට ගිහින් even if you just right click on it and then view code එකට ගියාම you won't be able to see all the functionalities all the functions what is happening they will just show you only the relevant things that has been hidden the implementation has been hidden that is not needed for you එහෙම ඔක්කොම එයාලා පෙන්නුවා නම් no point of having a no, like it is not secured for them isn't it so see now if I go to the view page source there are things that is here you can see the coding but not all the things see they have written a script that is not even showing for you okay so all the things are not visible බලන්න මේ page එකේ තියෙන හැම දෙයක්ම අපිට visible වෙන්නේ only the codings will be visible we won't be able to see the methods okay method here there is no any methods method එක මොනවාද වෙන්නේ මේක click කරාම මොනවාද වෙන්න ඕනේ all the things they won't show only the interface design code is only being displayed මේ interface එක විතරයි බලන්න පුළුවන් මේක click කරාම කොහොමද ඒක පිටිපස්සට යන්නේ කොහොමද ඒක වෙන්නේ කියන එක ඔයාලට පෙන්වන්නේ නැහැ okay login එක registration එක කොහොමද වෙන්නේ කියන එක අපිට බලන්න පුළුවන්ද no you won't be able to see the implementation of the program am I clear so soon after you click on the needed method or the button it will give you the thing okay you will be just calling the method that's all but you won't be able to remove and see the thing what is actually happening එයාලා පෙන්වන්නේ නැහනේ මේ බටන් එක ඇතුලේ මොනවද වෙන්නේ මොනවද කෝඩ් කරලා තියෙන්නේ කොහොමද ඒක වෙන්නේ ඔක්කොම දේවල් පෙන්වනවාද no they won't show you okay so that is known as abstraction is this is clear abstraction method එක මේක තේරුණාද ඔයාලට abstraction feature of the object oriented programming is it clear here now see this example there's a person A and then there's a person B there's a person C B is the administrator. So he or she will have access to all the mystery boxes. Okay. මෙයාට මෙයාගේ එකත් බලන්න පුළුවන්, මෙයාගේ එකත් බලන්න පුළුවන්, මෙයාගේ එකත් බලන්න පුළුවන්. But A කියන personට එයාගේ එක විතරක් තමයි බලන්න පුළුවන්. He or she won't be able to see the mystery box of the second person or the person C. තේරුණාද? So එක්කෙනෙක්ට විතරක් ඒ developer නැත්නම් administrator එයාට විතරක් තමයි back end එකට යන්න පුළුවන්. back end එකේ ඉඳලා බලන්න පුළුවන් දේවල් බලන්න පුළුවන්. හරිද? So දැන් හිතන්නකෝ AliExpress එකේ අලුතින් මොනවා හරි product එකක් upload කරන්න ඕනේ කියලා නිකන් users ලට ගිහින් ඒක upload කරන්න පුළුවන්ද? Can we go to the back end and then can we upload the picture and the details? Can't. That is not allowed for us. Okay, so that has been abstracted from us and then it has been given, the authority has been given to the administrator. So only the admin can post the thing, they can delete it or update or whatever they want, they can do it with it. Okay, so that has been restricted. Things that has been hidden from the person, some people, is known as abstraction. Velangicha idu nalla velangicha. Abstraction kiyanne monada කියන එක තේරුණාද ඔයාලට? මම ඔයාලට මේකට real time example එකක් පෙන්නන්නම් when it comes to the class diagram. හරි අපි code කරනකොට මම ඔයාලට extraction coding එහෙම කරලා පෙන්නන්නම්. Encapsulation, data hiding. This is data hiding. This is what we are hiding the method. Okay, implementation hiding. But this is data hiding. Okay, so the user will have no idea about inner implementation of the class. They doesn't have any idea about the inner class implementation. It will not be visible to the user that how the class is stored, valued in the variables. He only knows that we are passing the value to accessory and then variables are getting initialized to the values. We can make the variables of the class as read only or write only depending on our requirements. Okay. So there are things then මෙතන බලන්න encapsulation එකට ඔයාට මේ වගේ එකක් example එකක් විදිහට ගන්න පුළුවන්. So මේ හැම එකක්ම class එකක්. Okay, the entire thing is class. So things there are like variables, methods are there which is visible for us. Okay, ඒක අපිට කොහොමදත් visible තියෙනවා. But there are things that is not visible for us. Okay, there are some things which is not visible. So then අපි හිතමුකෝ variable එකක් තියෙනවා. then name එක insert කරන්න කියලා තියෙනවා. But the user doesn't know what kind of a data implementation එක data type එකක් කොහොමද දීලා තියෙන්නේ. Okay, method එකේ මොන වගේ data type එකක්ද එයාලා දීලා තියෙන්නේ. So what kind of a data type which has to be given, all these things that the user doesn't know. Okay, user will only give the input to the system. So inside the implementation they have restricted, okay, private public මේ වගේ ගොඩක් methods තියෙනවා. හරිද? අර permission දෙන එක. Okay, when we are implementing I will like explain everything. So ඒකේ අපි කියනවා මේක encapsulation එකක් කියලා කිව්වොතින් we are hiding things which is not relevant to the user. Okay, so for example there could be 3 or 4 users to AliExpress, isn't it? එතකොට එක user ගේ නැත්නම් even now you are following this course, right? එතකොට ඔයාලගේ යාළුවෙක්ගේ employee දැන් එයාගේ registration ID එක ඔයාලට දන්නා වෙන්න ඇති. But you won't be able to have the access to go and check their address, එයාලගේ phone number. මේ හැම දෙයක්ම ඔයාලට දෙනවද? නෑ. You won't have the access to check all the other people's details, private details, isn't it? So you will be just then මේ Facebook එකේ උනත් එහෙම තමයි. බලන්න. දැන් සමහර Facebook accounts තියලා public private කියලා තියෙනවනේ. public account එකක් නම් ඔයාට ඒකෙන් ගිහින් යාගේ status එක මොනවාද singled mingled ඔක්කොම බලනව නේද? දැන් ඔයාලට අදලා පාතු කොල්ලාම ஒரு statusல போய் பார்க்கலாம், அவங்களோட ப்ரொஃபைல்ல பார்த்து பார்க்கலாம், அதுல என்னென்ன விஷயம் இருக்குதுன்னு பார்க்கலாம். அதே private ன்னு சொன்னா the data has been hidden. That's the thing. Okay, things that you cannot see. Okay, ඔයාට නිකන් එයාගේ profile එක බලන්න පුළුවන්, but you can't get into their account and then you can't just check the things, details, more details about them. So that is what is called known as encapsulation. Encapsulation එක තමයි එතනදී පාවිච්චි කරලා තියෙන්නේ. Even in the Instagram or Facebook, ඔයා request එක දුන්නාම එයාලා ඔයාව accept කරනවා, and then only you will be able to see the data. Am I clear? So encapsulation එකක් කියලා කියන්නේ it's like things that has been hidden from some users. Okay, unwanted things, unwanted data would be hidden from other users. Then ඔයාලගේ හැම detail එකක්ම හැමෝටම බලන්න පුළුවන් නම්, if all your data, if it is visible to all the other users, then no point of having it, isn't it? No protection for your data. So encapsulation will help you to protect your data. Okay, so we'll be learning some example for that as well. Here a coding example has been given. So then look at this program. Okay, then program එක බලන්න. මෙතන තියෙනවා class එකක්, public class එකක්, මේක demo encap කියලා. Okay, encapsulation එකට හදපු class එකක් තියෙනවා. Then මේ private කියන එක මම ඔයාලට මෙතන වෙනම private public කියන්නේ මොනවද කියන එක උගන්වන්නම්. Okay, don't worry. Okay, so they have been given private variable declaration. So here we are declaring this variable is private. Only the relevant people can be seen. Okay, none of the others cannot be seen. Okay, others cannot see. So make a string data type. Okay, so these can be only accessed by the public method of the class. Private string data මේ method එකකින් විතරක් තමයි මෙයාට මේ student name එක access කරන්න පුළුවන්, student age එක access කරන්න පුළුවන්. If it is public, then from all the other classes we can access to this name and this age. Okay, we are making this as private. We are just asking other classes not to access this data. Okay, we are not allowing them actually. Okay, then හිතන්නකෝ මෙතන class එකක් තියෙනවා demo encapsulation කියලා. ඒ වගේම තව එකක් තියෙනවා කියලා හිතන්න public class demo කියලා, demo 1 කියලා එකක් තියෙනවා කියලා හිතන්න. So අපි මේ private කියන එක දුන්නාම මේ variable එක වෙන තැනක ඉඳලා access කරන්න බෑ. From the demo 1 class we can't access this because it has been restricted from this class to the other. Okay, we cannot access from another class to this value. Okay, එතකොට student age කියන්නේ ඒ වගේ එකක්. If it is public, එතකොට public නම් හැමෝටම අනිත් public classes වලින් ඉඳලා වුණත් අපිට මේක access කරන්න පුළුවන්. Okay, then using accessories to get and set the value of the student name. Okay, then we are telling මේකෙන්ම අපි method එකක් හදලා තිනවා public string name එකට get the student name. Okay, get the student name, set the student name value එක අපි ගන්නවා from the user. Okay, that will code one program, then you will understand. Get set මේ දේවල් ඔක්කොම මම කියලා දෙන්නම්. Inheritance is as usual අපි ඉගෙන ගත්ත දේවල් තමයි මේක. Inheritance කියලා කියන්නේ it is an important pillar of object oriented programming because even now I showed you many example for the object oriented what the relationship, aggregation, generalization, all these stuffs, right? While I was explaining all the class diagrams, even it had even a one inheritance method, right? Even එකක් හරි තිබ්බ නේද? user එකේ තිබ්බ නේද? staff and student කියලා එකක්. ඒ වගේම order එකේ තිබ්බ නේද? මොනවාද? fast මොනාරි එකක් තිබ්බ. order එකේ super class එකට sub classes දෙකක් තිබ්බ, isn't it? Likewise, when it comes to all the object oriented class diagrams, most probably you will be having an inheritance feature. Okay, so inheritance කියලා කියන්නේ by which one class is allowed to inherit a feature of the same class to another class. Okay, that means assume that there is a class called vehicle. So class bus, class car, class trucks. So these are subclasses of this parent class. Parent class එකේ ඉඳලා child classes තියෙනවා. So making තියෙන එක method එකක් අපිට inherit කරලා ගන්න පුළුවන්. Then the bus also can be fuel fill කරන්න පුළුවන්. මේකටත් fuel fill කරන්න පුළුවන්. මේකටත් fuel fill කරන්න පුළුවන්. So මේකේ තියෙන same method එක මේ තුනටම අපිට පාවිච්චි කරන්න පුළුවන්. Things that is different can be separately added into the subclasses. For an example, මේ දේල තියෙන්නේ super class. එහෙම නැත්නම් parent class කියලා කියනවා. The class whose features are inherited is known as superclass. Whose features are inherited. මියාගේ feature එකනේ අපි inherit කරලා ගන්නේ subclasses වලට, or a base class or a parent class කියලා අපි කියනවා. මෙයාට කියන්න පුළුවන් super class කියලා නැත්නම් base class කියලා නැත්නම් parent class කියලා කියන්න පුළුවන්. මේකෙන් ඉඳලා තමයි අපි features ටික inherit කරලා ගන්නේ sub classes වලට. So sub classes known as child class. The class that inherits other classes is known as subclasses or derived classes or extended class or child class. So the subclass can add its own field and method in additional to the superclass fields and the method. Then සමහර විට then child class එකේදී super class එකෙන් ඉඳලා inherit කරපු method එක features නැත්නම් method එක විතරක් නෙවෙයි තියෙන්නේ. Even if there are some other thing which can be added furthermore into these classes also can be added subclasses වලට. Then for an example කියන්නම්, I am a child of my parent නේද? then මං මගේ අම්මි තාත්තගේ ළමයි නේද? ඒ වගේ මට siblings ඉන්නවා නම් එයාලට එහෙම child class කියලා කියන්න පුළුවන්. then maybe අපි කියනව නේද? මේ බලන්නකො මේ ළමයා එයාගේ අම්මා වගේමයි. එයාගේ මේ eyes එක එයා වගේම තියෙනවා. නැත්තම් එයාගේ features ටිකක් තියෙනවා මෙයාට. එයා වගේම උසයි නේද මෙයා? එහෙම අපි කියනව නේද? so parent class එකකින් ඉඳලා inherit කරලා ආපු මේ sub class එකක් තමයි ඒක. inherit වෙලා ආපු සමහර දේවල්. and there are some additional things which is only related to that sub class. අර ළමයාට කියලාම තව සමහර දේවල් තියෙනවනේ. එයාගේ eye color එක මේක. මෙයාටම කියලා විතරක් තියෙන එකක්. okay, so things which is only relevant for you guys is known as things that is only for you. okay, super class sub class එකේ තියෙන දේවල්. but there are some things which has been come from your parents gene එකේ ආපු දේවලුත් තියෙනවා නේද? so that has been inherited and there are some specific things which is only related to you. am I clear? ඒක තේරුණාද? දැන් ඔයාගේ කලර් එක අම්මි සුදුයි නම් අපිත් සමහරට සුදුවට ඉන්නව නේද? ඒත් සමහර දේවල් අපිටම රිලේට් වෙන දේවල් තියෙනවා. okay, my eyes is like this, my nose is like this. Likewise we then tell things, right? so which is only relevant for us, but things are there which comes from our parent. so parent class එකකින් ඉඳලා ගන්න දේවල් වලට අපි ගන්නවා inherit කරලා අපි ගන්නවා කියලා. සමහර දේවල් අපිටම කියලා තියෙන දේවල් it is there. okay, සමහර දේවල් sub classes වල automatically it is there. okay, so that is what is known as inheritance. so polymorphism මේකට මම ඔයාලට example එකක් දෙන්නම්. polymorphism is a feature that allows a subclass or a child class to provide a specific implementation of a method that is already provided by one of its superclass or parent class. This is an achieved overriding and overloading. so overloading කියලා methods දෙකක් තියෙනවා when it comes to polymorphism. so overloading means now you know inheritance කියන්නේ මොනවාද කියලා. from the superclass you will be dividing you are inheriting subclasses. so subclasses will have some methods which is relevant to the superclass as well. මං කිව්වා වගේ ඔයාගේ parents ගාව තියෙන same thing you also will have same feature or same method of talking, something like that. but in that also we can divide two ways. okay, ඒකම අපිට divide කරන්න පුළුවන් into two things, overriding overloading කියලා. okay, එතකොට overriding කියලා කියන්නේ have the same method name, only the implementation is different using overriding keyword. එතකොට method එක same එකක්, ඒත් අපි use කරන implementation එක විතරක් එතන implementation method and the name, only the implementation will be different. අපි implement කරන එක විතරයි different වෙන්නේ එතන. then finding the area. okay, shape කියන method class එකේ තියෙන finding area. even to the rectangle we can find the area of the rectangle. circle එකටත් rectangle find area of the rectangle කීයද කියලා find කරන්න පුළුවන්. ඒ වගේම triangle එකට කීයද area කියන එකත් අපිට find කරන්න පුළුවන්. area is the method, but implementation is same. is it same? can we do the implementation same for all the three objects? circle එකටත් එක විදිහටම circle එකට වෙනම තියෙනවා නේද? 2πr එහෙමත් නැත්නම් πr squared ඒ වගේ මොන හරි එකක් තියෙනවා නේද? so something like that. the implementation is only will be the different thing. okay, but the method is same. finding area is the method, but inside the implementation will be different. that is known as overriding. overloading කියලා කියන්නේ the method can have same name but different parameters. the number of the parameters, order of the parameters, and the data type of the parameters within the same class. so this is something different. overriding කියලා කියන්නේ same method, implementation එක විතරක් මෙතන change වෙනවා. overloading එකේ same method but parameters කියලා එකක් තියෙනවා. I'll show you in this example. So see, base class කියලා කියන්නේ parent class එකට. derived class කියලා කියන්නේ sub classes එකට. නේද? එතකොට users කියන එක තමයි base classes. details කියන එක තමයි derived කරලා ගත්ත class එක. ඒ කියන්නේ users කියනවා parent class එකට. ඒ parent class එකකින් ඉඳලා අපි derived කරලා ගත්ත එකක් තමයි මේ detail කියන class එක. inherit කරලා ගත්ත class එකක් තමයි මේක. නේද? එතකොට බලන්න public okay virtual void කියලා මෙතන method එකක් තියෙනවා. get info කියන එක තමයි method name එක. So same method name is being used in this as well. But the implementation is the output is different. This is console write line base class. This one is going to display a different output derived class කියන එක. තේරුණාද මේක? ඔයා මේ method මේකේ තියෙන ඒ method එකම inherit කරලා ගන්නවා. but display කරනකොට වෙනම එකක් තමයි ඔයා implementation එක කරන්නේ. So see, look at this. දැන් මේ ඒක overloading කියන එක. overloading කියන එක මේක. හරිද? same method එක පාවිච්චි කරනවා but the output would be different. The implementation would be different. When it comes to overriding, okay, then බලන්න මෙතන print කියලා parent class එකක් තියෙනවා. නේද? print කියලා parent class එකක් තියෙනවා. print එකේ තියෙනවා මේ public method දෙකක් තියෙනවා. display කියලා. නේද? display කියලා method දෙකක් තියෙනවා මෙතන. okay, so display string name කියන එක මේක තමයි අපි කියනවා parameters කියලා. If you insert something in between the parentheses, that is known as parameters. Okay, so parameters this one having this parameter, but the same method having different parameters with different data type and different range. Is it clear? That is known as overloading. Okay, මේක බලන්න display කියලා method එකක් තියෙනවා. මේකෙන් string name එක විතරයි parameter විදියට pass වෙන්නේ. Then you will be your name එක මෙතන අපි string data type එක අරන් මෙතන name එක display කරනවා. But මේ display එකේ age and marks also being taken and then it is being displayed. So data type එක බලන්න මෙතන integer, මේකෙන් float කියන data type එක තමයි තියෙන්නේ. So the data type also has been changed and then the name of the parameter also has been changed and then the range of the parameter also has been changed. Here we are passing only one parameter, but here instead of one parameter we are passing two parameters. Clear the maker? ඒ වගේම implementation එක බලන්න මෙතන අපි console write line එකේ කියනවා your name is කියලා එක name එක විතරක් අපි මෙතන ගන්න විදිහ ඒක විතරක් display කරනවා. But in this case, since we are getting age and the marks as an input, we are displaying your age and the name marks as well, both. So two outputs. මේක clear ද? මේකට අපි කියනවා overloading කියලා. මේකට අපි no sorry, this is known as overriding, this is known as overloading. Overriding එකේ we will take the same method and then the implementation only will be different. In overloading, parameters also will be different. Implementation plus parameters also could be different. Am I clear? එතකොට polymorphism එකේ තියෙන methods දෙකක් තමයි overloading, overriding කියන එක. Overriding කියන එක you will just get the method, the same method, but you won't pass any parameters. The same method but different implementation. But overloading කියලා කියන්නේ you will get the same method. Display කියන එක තමයි method එක. බලන්න display is the method. Yeah, display is the method. Display is the method. But what you do is you are displaying same not the same parameter but different parameters. String name එක මෙතනින් parameter එකක් විදිහට එනවා. Age in the marks is being passed as the parameter in the overloading. Okay, so that's all here in the polymorphism, abstraction, encapsulation, inheritance. Make a clear the then all. Is it clear? But still this is these things going to be help when it comes to coding. Okay, real time code එකේ මම ඔයාලට පුළුවන් නම් මේ හැම එකකටම example එකක් පෙන්නන්නම්. abstraction එකට බැලුවා වගේ. We'll just go through few examples. encapsulation abstraction එකට හරි polymorphism. Binary encapsulation. Void mean you won't pass any values. Okay, it won't return anything. We didn't learn anything about void and return. So when it comes to coding only, we'll be learning about that thing. Okay, I'll teach you what is void. Void means it won't return anything. Abstract class. I'll just search for a few. Yeah, they have given. Encapsulation. Okay, so there are few examples which I can show you. Okay, so I'll just share this. See. So when it comes to abstraction, you guys know that. Okay, for an example, we can say remote එකක් තියෙනවා කියලා හිතන්නකෝ. හරි? ඒකට remote එකෙන් ඔයා click then switch on කරන්න ඕනේ නම් you will click on one button. If not, if you wanted to change the channel, you would click on one particular button. So that thing is only visible. But inside, whatever that is happening, the contact between the computer or the TV and the remote, okay, so what is there, what is the connection, all the things, it is inside. You won't be able to see that, okay? That is not visible. So that thing is known as something which is not visible, which has been hidden from you, is known as abstraction. Real time example එකක් විදිහට අපිට මේක ගන්න පුළුවන්. හරි? වෙන මොනාරි පෙන්වන්න ඕනේ නම් abstraction එකට මම ඔයාලට real time code කරනකොට පෙන්වන්නම්. Okay, so when we are coding, somehow we will be coding, right? At that time itself I'll teach you what are the things. So what we can take as, what are the things that we can take as abstraction class of night, if not inheritance class or whatever. Okay, so මේකේ බලන්න inheritance එකේ super class එකක් කියලා කියන්නේ animals. So child class, under the animals you have like reptiles, mammals, birds, things like that, isn't it? So then that can be derived from the base class to subclasses. So that is known as inheritance. Polymorphism කියලා කියන්නේ කොහමද? Polymorphism කියලා කියන්නේ the same person, okay, එයා customer කෙනෙක් විදියට කොහොමද mall එකේ behave කරන්නේ, passenger කෙනෙක් විදියට කොහොමද bus එකේ behave කරන්නේ, student කෙනෙක් විදියට කොහොමද school එකේ behave කරන්නේ. But the son, as a son, how he is behaving in the house, okay, home. ඒක තමයි එකම කෙනා, the same object but in different places, if not different methods. Understood? එතකොට implementation එක මෙතන වෙනස් වෙනවා. Same method can be act as so many things, isn't it? එතකොට කොහොමද මෙයා behave කරන්නේ කියන එක තමයි මේ හැම තැනකම behave කරන්නේ. ඒකට අපි කියනවා polymorphism කියලා. Am I clear? This is clear? Okay, so polymorphism is something where you abstract thing, but the method will be the same but different ways of implementing. Okay, and then encapsulation, as we learned, encapsulation කියලා කියන්නේ ඒකත් මේ implementation එකේ බලන්න. Okay, this is not a good example. I'll come up with some other examples in the next class, and then I'll give you a clear idea with some coding example. Then it would be really easy for you to understand. Because you know why am I trying to explain this hard? Because this is really going to be affected to your future. Okay, this is really going to affect, because somehow you will be using abstraction, all these methodologies, features, okay, object oriented features, even though when you are working in a environment, okay, if not, if you are going to an office, okay, එමත් නැත්නම් ඔය ඉන්ටර්වියු එකකට යනවා නම් අනිවාර්යෙන් අහන්න යන question එකක් තමයි මේ features, OOP features කියන එක. Okay, එතකොට අනිවාර්යෙන් ඔයා මේක ගැන හරියට දැනගෙන ඉන්න ඕනේ. හරිද? abstraction කියන්නේ මොනවද, encapsulation කියන්නේ මොනවද, polymorphism කියලා කියන්නේ මොනවද, inheritance කියන්නේ මොනවද කියලා. මට ඕනේ ඔයාලට full clear idea එක දෙන්න. හරිද? Because I have faced this, okay, before when I was learning, like in diploma they didn't teach anything related to object oriented, but still you guys are learning about object oriented. Okay, I just wanted to teach you this because this is really a basic thing, but this is what is going to really affect your future as well. Okay, ඉතින් තමයි මම මේක අනිවාර්යෙන් ඔයාලට උගන්වන්න ඕනේ කියලා මම මේක අරගත්තේ. නැත්තම් ඔයාලට මේක programming එකේ මට පුළුවන් නිකන් ඔයාලට programming concept එක කියලා දීලා ඊට පස්සේ නිකන් structured program එකක් code කරන්නේ කොහොමද කියලා programming එක විතරක් උගන්වන්න පුළුවන්. Okay, but what this does is, but I am teaching you all these extra things because this is really going to affect your future. Okay, මේ දේවල් ඔයාලට අනිවාර්යෙන් එයාලා අහනවා. හරිද? එතකොට එයාලා කොහොම හරි ඔයාලට මේ abstraction කියන්නේ මොනවද, එක method එක feature එකක් හරි කියලා මේක කොහොමද වැඩ කරන්නේ කියලා in interviews they ask you. Okay, so before that when I was like you guys, I didn't know anything about this abstraction, inheritance and all these steps. Okay, but later on I faced an interview, then they are asking all these questions. Even my teachers, they didn't teach. They said, okay, there are things like encapsulation, abstraction, inheritance, you just go through it and then learn it. That's what they said. Okay, but after that, when you are facing the interview and other stuffs, you may like face difficulty. So that is why I just want you guys to understand this clearly, and you have to make sure පුතා ඔයාලට හොඳට මේක තේරුණා කියලා ඒකයි මම අහන්නේ. ඔයාලට තේරුණාද කියලා repeatedly අහන්න. That is why, because I want you to clearly understand this. Okay, abstraction මේ දේවල් ඒක විතරක් නෙවෙයි මම last class එකේ කියලා දුන්න අර relationship එක අදත් ඔයාලට කියලා දුන්නා. මේ හැම දෙයක්ම it's going to really affect you. Okay, so with my experience, I am facing all these stuff. Even if it is an assignment, when you are doing your degree, when you are doing your HNDs, it is going to really affect you. Okay, that day you will remember me. මේ ඔක්කොම අපි ඉගෙන ගත්ත දේවල් නේ කියලා. එතකොට මේක this is not even diploma, right? මේ diploma එකටත් කලින් තියෙන basic එකක්. So I'm really trying to give you the best clear definition about all this stuff. මම පුළුවන් නම් next class එක ඔයාලට clear explanation එකත් එක්ක එන්නම් මේ එම feature එකටම. හරිද? There are things that we have to learn, still we didn't complete and everything. Okay, use case diagram. Use case diagram man kiyala dennan. Okay, that is not going to take much time. This is really an easy diagram. Okay, now currently, as I told you Puta, now I am currently working on these things, but currently now I am working on one of my project. You guys are messaging me, I didn't read it, sorry. Later, once after I finish completing everything, I'll read. So see, now I'm currently working on this scenario. So this is how you will get a, now yesterday also I showed you this, right? Shared the this one. So this is my last final year project. So here they have just given the case study. Just think, okay, now we are working as a group. Now 4 members are there. One is the project manager. He is not doing anything. Since he is the project manager, he gives orders. Orders නේ දෙන්නේ project manager මුකුත් කරන්නේ නැහනේ. එතකොට මට කිව්වා ඔයා project manager වෙන්න කියලා. I don't want to be one because project manager වුණාම එයා තමයි ඒ කියන්නේ manage කරන්න ඕනේ. ඔයා මේක කරන්න, මේක development එක හරියද ඉවරයිද කියලා ඔක්කොම manage කරන්න ඕනේ. But එයාලට මුකුත් නැහනේ. එතන ඉගෙන ගන්න මුකුත් ඒ කියන්නේ programming කරන්නත් නැහැ, document කරන්නත් නැහැ. එයාට මුකුත් ඉගෙන ගන්නත් එතන මුකුත් නැහැ නේද? So I decided not to do that. Instead, I'm going for the development, if not documentation. මේ දෙකෙන් මොනාර එකක් මම ගන්නවා. Designing කොහමටත් ඒක පුළුවන් නේ මට. එහෙනම් මම හිතුවා designing එකෙන් ඉගෙන ගන්න ලොකු දෙයක් නෑ. Implementation කරන්න ගියොත් අලුතින් දෙයක් මම ඉගෙන ගන්න වෙනවා නේද? So somehow you have to learn a new language, a programming language, or else you have to learn something නේද? එහෙනම් මම හිතුවා okay මම development එක ගන්නම් කියලා. එතකොට another boy said okay, all the other 3 are boys. Okay, in our class only 4 or 5 girls are there because all the others are boys. Around 70 or something students are there, but all majority boys. Okay, එතකොට එයා කිව්වා මට මේ documentation එක කරන්න අමාරුයි ඒ හින්දා මම development එක ගන්නම් කියලා. දැන් මම කිව්වා okay, I'll help you with the development, but I'll be doing the මේ documentation කියලා. Currently now I am working on the මේ documentation එකේ වැඩ කරගෙන ඉන්න interim support report submission එකක් තියෙනවා. For that we have to implement all the things. Okay, so here documentation has to be done. So there are huge process that has to do. You have to face all these things. Okay, so make sure to learn everything and to take down notes and keep everything with you. That will really help you when it comes to your higher studies. Okay, in your future it's really going to help you. Okay guys, so I just wanted to share this with you guys. So even for this Puta, first thing what we have to do is we have to come up with a use case. Then මෙතන අපි ඉගෙන ගන්නවනේ මේක read කරලා මම මේක several time read කරා. හරිද? I read it for several times and then use case කියන්නේ මොනවද කියලා මම ඔයාලට කියලා දෙන්නම්. Use case diagram is the first thing which you will be drawing before the class diagram, before all the other diagrams. The first diagram that you have to come up with is use case diagram. That means who are the users and what are the use cases, who are the users or as the actors who are interacting with the use cases කියන එක තමයි අපි මෙතන කියන්නේ. මම ඔයාලට මේක clearly කියන්නම්, explanation එක දෙන්නම්. See, in the use case diagram Puta, so the process of modeling, okay, system functions in the term of business events, who initiated the event or how the system respond to those events. ඒ කියන්නේ use cases කියලා කියන්නේ මොන වගේ functionalities ද කියලා. හරිද? business event එකක් වෙන්න පුළුවන්. ඒ කියන්නේ insert, update, delete, report ඒ වගේ වෙන්න පුළුවන්. එහෙමත් නැත්නම් who initiated. Okay, එහෙමත් නැත්නම් කවුද මේක initiate කරන්නේ? Initiating මොනාරි event එකක් වෙන්න පුළුවන්. ඒකේ like ordering. Okay, so customer order initiate, customer තමයි initiate කරන්නේ අර event එක. හරිද? එහෙමත් නැත්නම් system response එකක් වෙන්න පුළුවන්. Okay, I'll just show you the use case diagram of mine, then you will understand. It is with me the use case which I doing for this use the case study. Okay, and it is with me, I'll share it with you. එතකොට බලන්න රෙස්පොන්ඩ් එකක් වෙන්න පුළුවන් මේ වගේ යූස් කේස් එකක් කියලා කියන්නේ ඒක මෙතඩ් එකක් එහෙමත් නැත්නම් ෆන්ක්ෂන් එකක් දැන් අපි ඉගෙන ගත්තනේ ළමයින් ඔයාලට ඒක මතක තියෙනවද දන්නේ නැහැ අර අපි ඔපරේෂන් එකක් ඉගෙන ගත්තා නේද ඔපරේෂන් ඔබ්ජෙක්ට් එකක් නම් ඒකට ඇබ්ස්ට්‍රැක්ට් ඇට්‍රිබියුට්ස් කියලා වෙනම තියෙනවා මෙතඩ් කියලා තියෙනවා කියලා අන්න අර මෙතඩ් එක තමයි මෙතන එන්නේ விளங்கிச்சா மெத்தட் தான் இதுல வரும் யூஸ் கேஸ்ல வந்து என்ன வரும்னா மெத்தட்ஸ் சரியா யூஸ் கேசஸ் வந்து மெத்தட்ஸ் சரியா so use cases means methods whatever that the user can do or else the use cases means what are the things the functionalities an approach that the functionalities uses certain development in certain developments what are the development functionalities that the user have to face අපි මේක බලමුකෝ here see user use case එකක් අපි represent කරන්න ඕනේ නම් you have to use a oval shape okay so through the oval shape only you will be initiating a use case so use case represented in graphically by an horizontal ellipse with the name of those of the use case appropriate above or below or inside the ellipse that means this is an you can say oval shape or else ellipse එකක් නේද මේක so in this you can mention above මේකට උඩින් mention කරන්න පුළුවන් below mention කරන්න පුළුවන් නැත්නම් ඇතුලේ mention කරන්න පුළුවන් what is the use case කියලා for example see here place new member order so this has been mentioned inside නේද මේක use case එකක් මේක මොනාරි functionality එකක් place new member order කියන්නේ මෙතන function එකක් වෙනව නේද so this is known as use cases පුතා at the same time there is someone called actor so actor කියලා කියන්නේ an actor may only be an input information to the system or else receiving information from the system or else input and receive information and the form from the system okay both also can be done like එක්කෝ ඇක්ටර් කෙනෙක් ඉන්පුට් එක ගන්න කෙනෙක් වෙන්න පුළුවන් නැත්නම් අවුට්පුට් එකක් දෙන කෙනෙක් අවුට්පුට් එක ගන්න කෙනෙක් වෙන්න පුළුවන් okay දැන් එහෙමනේ then ඔයා cashier then ඉතින් ඔයා KFC එකට ගියා කියලා okay so you are in the KFC now you are trying to but like buy things okay so now you wanted to have a bucket of chicken okay එතකොට මොනවද කරන්නේ නම් you are ordering you are placing the order you are then giving the input ned you are giving the order then you are soon after you give the input what they do they will give you the order so they are giving the output so these two people okay the bar attender එහෙමත් නැත්නම් අපිට කියන්න පුළුවන් order take කරන්න කෙනා නැත්නම් reservation එකේ ඉන්න කෙනා කවුරු හරි වෙන්න පුළුවන් so that is known as actor the person the user is known as an actor හරිද now for an example we can say like okay you are taking a call to you are one of your friend okay so you are one actor okay your name is an actor okay under the actor you can say your name Shafia is an actor I am calling okay I'm dialing the phone isn't it so that is a use case dialing phone is a use case okay to that person isn't it so he is getting an input nේද එයා මං input එකක් දෙනවා එයා output එකක් receive කරනවා so එයාගේ phone එක ring වෙනකොට එයාට output එකක් එනවා නේද so they will be the friend of mine or else whoever it is will answer the call isn't it so they are another actor understood එතකොට actor කෙනෙක් කියලා කියන්නේ information එකක් input දෙන කෙනෙක් වෙන්න පුළුවන් එහෙමත් නැත්නම් information එකක් receive කරන කෙනෙක් වෙන්න පුළුවන් එහෙමත් නැත්නම් දෙකම කරන කෙනෙක් input ඒ වගේම receive දෙකම කරන කෙනෙක් වෙන්න පුළුවන් මේ system තුලින් typically they are found in the problem statement and by conversation with the customers and domain experts okay librarian and library system එතකොට දැන් සමහර දැන් ප්‍රොබ්ලම් එකක් තියෙනවා නම් තමයි අපිට ඒකට මේ යූස් කේස් එකක් ඕන වෙන්නේ නේද එතකොට එක්ට කෙනෙක් දැන් හිතමුකෝ ලයිබ්‍රේරියන් කෙනෙක් කියලා කියන්නේ he or she is an actor so they are interacting with the library system understood so look at this club member කියලා actor කෙනෙක් ඉන්නවා දැන් මෙයා මොනවද කරන්නේ place new member order කියන එක එතකොට distribute center එකකින් ඉඳලා යා මොනවද කරන්නේ distribute order එකෙන් an interaction between the use case and an external server or receiving actor ඒ කියන්නේ මෙතන මොනවද වෙන්නේ නම් මෙයා ප්ලේස් එක ඕඩර් එක ප්ලේස් කරාම මෙතනින් ඉන්න කෙනා ඩිස්ට්‍රිබියුට් එකේ ඉන්න කෙනා ඒ ප්ලේස්මන්ට් ඕඩර් එක ගන්නවා. දැන් අපිට කියන්න පුළුවන් pick me Uber එකේ අපි ඕඩර් කරනව නේද මොනාරි. So we are not like specifically choosing a person and giving the order නේද. So somehow the user will be giving the order. They will place the order. So it will be given to a distribute center. Okay, කවුරු හරි කෙනෙකුට දෙන්න පුළුවන්. එතකොට දැන් හිතන්නකෝ assume that you are ordering something in the KFC, so they will receive it and then they will give the order to the person. Okay, so placing order එක තමයි ඔයා කරන්නේ. So you are giving the input, they are receiving the output. Understood? So there is an interaction between the use cases. So use case එකත් එක්ක තමයි interaction එක තියෙන්නේ. So okay, so interaction will be between the use cases and the actor. So directly actor කෙනෙක් තව actor කෙනෙක් එක්ක interaction එක තියෙන්නේ, but instead of that they will be interacting through the use cases. Am I clear? So I'll show you a few other examples. There is that use case. I'll show you another use case, okay? Then you will understand. Look at this. Okay. Here. Interaction. The scenarios that describes an interaction between users and the system. The use case diagram displays the relationship among the actor and the use cases. So system එකත් එක්ක කොහොමද interact කරන්නේ user කෙනෙක් කියන එක තමයි මෙතන display කරලා පෙන්නන්නේ. So see, ATM system එකක් ගත්තොතින් customer කෙනෙක් යනවා. Are there someone sitting behind that? ATM එකේ පිටිපස්සේ කවුරු හරි හිටගෙන ඉන්නවද නැත්නම් ඉඳගෙන ඉන්නවද? No. யாராச்சும் போய் உட்கார்ந்து கொண்டு நீங்க கேஷ் கேக்க கொள்ள பின்னுக்கு இந்த போடுறதும் நீங்க செக் பேலன்ஸ் பார்க்கல பின்னுக்கு இந்த கொண்டு சொல்றதும் அப்படி யாராச்சும் செய்றாங்களா? No, right? You are just directly interacting with the ATM machine, isn't it? So only there is one actor. Customer කෙනෙක් විතරයි එතන ඉන්නේ නේද? So there is one actor. So these are the use cases that is happening inside the system. Methods නේද? Method නැත්නම් functions කියලා කියන්න පුළුවන්. So withdrawal cash කරන්නේ කොහොම කවුද? customer තමයි interact කරලා මේ use case එක කරන්නේ. මෙයාට check balance කරන්න පුළුවන්, change එක pin එක change කරන්න පුළුවන්, deposit cash කරන්න පුළුවන්, transfer cash කරන්න පුළුවන්. So all these functions can be done through an actor. So the actor is interacting with this ATM system. Okay, there is no any other actors. Okay, so these are the cases, use cases. Clear? So another use case has been given. This is a supermarket system. See, customer, cashier, storekeeper, supplier, salesman. There are 5 actors. නේද පුතා? දැන් බලන්න customer කෙනෙක් pay කරනවා bill එක. කාටද? cashier ට. So input එකක් දෙනවා. He is receiving the output. He or she is receiving the output. And then customer purchase goods, isn't it? So then they will be receiving how much they have, like purchase good කීයද යාලා කීයද purchase කරලා තියෙන්නේ කියන එක cashier බලනවා නේද? So return goods, that is also has to be interacted with the cashier. But when the customer is returning, they will return the good. The cashier will get the goods and then they will give the amount, isn't it? Amount එක දෙනවා නැත්නම් replacement මොනාරි කරනවා. Then salesman, they are the one who will be stocking the goods. Okay, so salesmen එනවා මොනාරි ඉවරයිද කියලා බලනවා, then they will give the stocks, isn't it? Then the storekeeper will get the stocks and then they will be storing it in the storage or wherever. Okay, and then daily report එක දෙන්න ඕනේ storekeeper. Okay, daily කීයද input ආවේ කොහමද මේක මොන බඩුද තියෙන්නේ, about the stock they have to keep a report, isn't it? Stockkeeper has to keep a report of the records. And then stock inventory, one of the inventories තියෙන්නේ, okay, all the things has to be managed through the stockkeeper. And then supply goods. Who is the supplier? Supplier is the one who will be supplying the goods. Okay, මෙයා තමයි supply කරන්නේ. Supplier කියන actor තමයි supply කරන්නේ. And pay for the supplier, who will be paying, storekeeper is the one who will be paying for the supplier. So this is how a system එකකට කොහොමද users ලා වැඩ කරන්නේ, එයාලා කොහොමද interact කරන්නේ, මොන වගේ use cases තියෙන්න පුළුවන්ද කියන එක තමයි අපි මේ වගේ use case තුලින් draw කරලා බලාගන්නේ. Am I clear? So another one has been given. This is for a library diagram. Yeah, library management system. Librarian is there, student is there. Librarian can add publication, add book, add branch, add student, search book, issue book, return book, and then penalty, and then use issue and return book reports, and then penalty report, and then changing password. Everything can be done by the librarian, but student have only restricted what access, isn't it? So here search book කරන්න පුළුවන්. එයාට issue return report books කරන්න book report බලන්න පුළුවන්. ඒ වගේම penalty report එක බලන්න පුළුවන්. එයාටත් change එයාගේ password එක change කරන්න පුළුවන්. That's it. But එයාට book එකක් add කරන්න ඕ නැත්නම් branch එකක් add කරන්න ඕ නැත්නම් එයාගේ detail එකම edit කරන්න ඕ නැත්නම් publication එක මොනවද කියලා edit කරන්න මුකුත් බලන්න බෑ. So here only the encapsulation abstraction comes. Okay, මම මේක already detail කියලා දෙන්නම්. But this is how you draw a use case diagram. So now up to now we have learned class diagram කොහොමද draw කරන්න කියලා දන්නවා, and then you know how to draw a use case diagram. There are some other diagrams as well, so we'll be learning that in the continuing classes. I'll clearly explain you what are the diagrams and what are the uses of those diagrams. We'll work on one real-time use case of not the use case, sorry, case study. Okay, we'll just I'll come up with one case study. Case study එකක් මම අරන් එන්නම්. ඒකට අපි class diagram, use case diagram හැම එකක්ම draw කරමු. Okay, so I'll be drawing that, so you will understand. So soon after that when I am issuing the assignment, so in that you will be having a separate scenario. For that you have to come up with all these diagrams and the developed system. I hope you got the idea. Any doubts up to here? Any doubts? I have already given my email ID, Putta. Can you check it? Visual Studio. Yeah, Visual Studio software, you can get it from Get Into PC. When you are, in the Get Into PC, I'll show you. Wait. In Get Into PC website, even if you type Visual Studio with the video, there would be a video showing you how you have to download. Here, this is a soft video which is showing how we can install Filmora. Okay, that is the software. So I was downloading. So with an instruction they will give you. So this is a website, Putta. Through this website you can download it. Okay.
Palmorava, teacher.
Filmora is a website. Idilla idu summa na ungalku kaatnen. Okay, this is just a website. Idu vandu or software, video editing software. Okay, you search for Visual Studio. So soon after you type Visual Studio and search for it, okay, you will be able to see this. Sariya, what you do, click on one particular link. Okay, so when you click on one particular link, it will show you the way. Okay, if not, it will ask you to watch the video before you install it. Yeah, download video guide. So through this you can watch the video and understand how you have to install it and everything. They will clearly give you the idea what you have to do. Soon after that is once you understood how they are doing everything, then you can install it by yourself. No need to go for someone else, or no need to go and buy it, purchase it from a shop. මං එදා මගේ මේ ළමයින් ඉන්නවා මේ physical class ළමයින් ටිකක්, එයාලට Photoshop installation කරන්න කොහොමද කියලා මං මේකේ කියලා දුන්නා. එතකොට එතන මේ software shop එකක් තියෙනවා. In that shop they have gone and asked for the setup. They have said that it is 1500 just for the setup. Okay, so guys, you don't go and buy things from the shops. Okay, even though if it is a game, okay, if you wanted to install a game, you just go to this website. There are websites you can download free softwares and games. Okay, cracked files are available. So this website is a free website. Okay, this is here you can download free softwares. Okay, no need to pay or no need to they will teach you how to crack and everything. Okay, in the video itself they shows you how to do the things. The cracking versions ඔයාලා කඩේට ගිහින් ගන්න එපා. එයාලා ගන්න මේකෙන් තමයි, but they will like sort it out for something like a good amount. Okay, So don't go for the shop and purchase things. Okay, just you can, even for that what you can do is recharge your phone and then internet connection එක ගන්න, even within like 200 or something you can install, download it නේද? එච්චර ගාණක් ලොකු ගාණක් යන්නේ නැහැ. කඩේට ගියාම යාළ කියනවා මේක මෙච්චර ගාණයි එහෙම මෙහෙම කියලා කියනවානේ. Don't do that.
மேம்
Yes புதா.
இது இப்படி போய் தானே மேம் இது இன்ஸ்டால் பண்ணலாம்? சும்மா
ஆஹா.
இன்ஸ்டால் பண்ணலாவே?
சும்மா இன்ஸ்டால் பண்ண போவான புத்தா, ஏண்டா ஒவ்வொரு வெப்சைட்ல ஒவ்வொரு மாதிரி தந்திப்பாங்க சரியா. இவங்க வந்து இதுல என்ன ஒரு ஒரு பிளஸ் பாயிண்ட்டா, வீடியோல ஃபுல்லா சொல்லி தருவாங்க புத்தா சரியா. வீடியோல நீங்க இப்ப இன்ஸ்டால் பண்ணி பாருங்க, நான் சும்மா இந்த ப்ளே பண்ணி காட்டுறேன். நீங்க இன்ஸ்டால் பண்ணினோன்னு எங்கேக்கும் அது எப்படி எக்ஸ்ட்ராக்ட் பண்றது, அதுக்கு பாஸ்வேர்டு வந்துட்டு 1 2 3 அப்படி எல்லாம் இவங்க சொல்லுவாங்க, எல்லாமே சொல்லி தருவாங்க. பாஸ்வேர்டு இருக்குதா இல்லையா எல்லாம் சொல்லிட்டு they are showing everything. yeah, download எப்படி பண்ணுங்க விளங்கிச்சா, பிகினிங்ல இருந்து சொல்லி தருவாங்க. டவுன்லோட் பண்ணுங்க, அதுக்கப்புறம் நீங்க எப்படி இன்ஸ்டால் பண்ணணும், எங்க வைக்கணும், எல்லாமே சொல்லி தருவாங்க. இன்டர்நெட்டை வந்து ஆஃப் பண்ணிக்கணுமா ஆன் பண்ணிக்கணுமா எல்லாமே நீங்க வேற யார்ட்டையும் கேட்கணும்னு அவசியமே இல்ல. ஃபுல்லா நீங்க இன்ஸ்டால் பண்றதுல இருந்து டவுன்லோட் பண்றதுல இருந்து எல்லாமே சொல்லி தருவாங்க. they will teach you from 0 to 1 புதா.
மைக்ரோசாஃப்ட் அந்த இதுக்குள்ள போய் இன்ஸ்டால் பண்ணலாவே மேம்?
அதுல மேலும் தான், பட் சம்டைம்ஸ் லைசன்ஸ் கேட்பாங்கன்னா அதுல மேபி ஏன்டா 2-3 பேர் அந்த ப்ராப்ளம் ஃபேஸ் பண்ணினாங்க. அதனால தான் நான் சொல்றேன், இதுல உங்களுக்கு 2019 வெர்ஷன் இன்ஸ்டால் பண்ணினாலும் that is also good. Okay, Visual Studio 2019 version is also available. You better go for 19th version. Okay, I am currently using 19 இல்ல, நான் வந்து currently வந்து 15th தான் பாவிக்கிறேன், but you better go for 19. Okay, 19 வந்து டவுன்லோட் பண்ணுங்க. இதுல நல்ல புத்தா, ஏன்னா நீங்க மைக்ரோசாஃப்ட்க்கு போயிட்டீங்கன்றாலும் சம்டைம்ஸ் அது கொஞ்சம் என்ன தெரியுமா, ட்ரையல் வெர்ஷன் ஒன்று இருக்கும். you can use it for like 7 days. after that என்ன சொல்லும், ஒரு லைசன்ஸ்
ட்ரை பண்ணேன் 3 டைம் ட்ரை பண்ணினேன், ஃபெயிலியர் ஆயிட்டு.
அதான் சொல்றேன்,
கேட்கணும்.
நீங்க பெட்டர் இதுக்கு போறீங்க சரியா.
ஓகே, தேங்க்ஸ்.
இந்த வெப்சைட் புத்தா இதுல எல்லா சாஃப்ட்வேர்ஸும் மீக்குது. நீங்க வெல்கம். இதுல வந்து எல்லா சாஃப்ட்வேரும் மீக்குது. you can download whatever the software you want, and also you no need to ask for someone else. Okay, no need to ask. Okay, because the guidance also has been given through the video. So watch the video and install it by yourself. Okay, so that is the easiest way. Any other doubts? Any doubts?
இமெயில் கொஞ்சம் திரும்ப கொஞ்சம் டைப் பண்ணேலுமா மேம்?
ஏண்ட மெயிலையா புதா?
ஆமா
சரிங்க, நான் தாரேன். ஆனா நீங்க எனக்கு அனுப்புங்க, நான் கொஞ்சம் இருங்க. நேரம் நான் சம்டைம்ஸ் கொஞ்சம் பிஸியா இருந்தேன்னு சொன்னா இந்த நேரம் ஆன்சர் பண்ண மாட்டேன். நான் ரிப்ளை பண்ணுவேன், பட் ஓகே, somehow I would reply you. 069@gmail.com. So this is my mail ID. You can contact me anytime through this, but I would reply. Try to contact me through this. I have given my phone number to several people, but the thing is puta, most of the time what they do is like godak velavatam they like call me. I don't want to answer because call karama mata ekar velayana kata karගෙන ඉන්නකොට එහෙම, so මට ඒක ලොකු disturbance එකක් because I don't have much time, and also all the time I won't have time also puta. நான் வந்து ஒரு டைம் வெச்சிப்பேன். வாட்ஸ்அப் யூஸ் பண்றதாலும் I have like allocated a time for it. Okay, அந்த டைம்ல மட்டும் தான் நான் வாட்ஸ்அப்ல வந்து ஆன்சர்ஸ் பண்ணுவேன். அப்ப சம்டைம்ஸ் வந்து சொல்லுவாங்க சில ஆட்கள், நீங்க ரிப்ளை பண்றீங்கல்ல அப்படி இப்படின்னு எல்லாம் சொல்லி, ஏன்னா எனக்கு நிறைய மெசேஜஸ் வரும். I would get, there are plenty of students. Okay, so all the students are messaging me, so one by one நான் எல்லாத்துக்கும் ரிப்ளை பண்ணி கொண்டே போகல, எனக்கு அதுக்கு டைம் சில டைம் வந்து சிலதெல் மிஸ் ஆகும். that is there. Okay, I'll give my WhatsApp number as well.
என்ன பிரச்சனைடா மேம், கிளாஸ்ல யாரையும் தெரியாது, டவுட்டும் கேட்டுக்கேமேலா, நீங்களும் இல்ல,
நான் அந்த குரூப்லயும் இல்ல.
ஓமா, அதான் பெரிய
இந்த WhatsApp number, you can contact me through the WhatsApp. Don't call me, please don't call me, but you can WhatsApp me. நான் கால் பண்ண ஆன்சரே பண்ண மாட்டேன், நான் அப்படி ஆன்சரே பண்ண மாட்டேன், யாருக்குமே ஆன்சர் பண்ண மாட்டேன். ப்ளீஸ் WhatsApp me. Okay, அப்ப வைண்ட் அப் பண்ணுவோமேனா? Okay then, see you guys in the next class. Bye.